Welcome to Snowmobile Sessions Live on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms. We're the #1 destination to learn about snowmobiling, network with other sledders, and have an awesome time doing it. We'll meet other snowmobilers that share your passions and show your fan photos along the way. Snowmobile Sessions Live. Enjoy the ride.
It's a journey for life and I'm gonna ride. Hang on.
This episode of Snowmobile Sessions Live is brought to you by Energy Powersports. This is Oakville's full-line BRP dealer, not BRT, BRP dealer. Sales and service to all BRP models and so much more. Check them out online, energypowersports.ca, and they are the reason we have you-know-who in the house right now. So make sure you share all your love with Energy Powersports. John, Luke, and the whole team, they rock! Wow, boys. How was that for an intro?
Oh, yeah.
Top notch.
Awesome. We got Superman in house. This is going to be an awesome night, boys.
Oh, thank you. I've been called other things, but I'll take Superman. That's fine. I'll take that too. And it's another momentous evening, guys. Rich has got a beer going.
Yeah.
How's that? Energy Powersports says they loved it. Cheers, Rich. Cheers, Bobby.
Yeah, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
So listen,
cheers to BLAIR,
we're just going to bring him in. We're not going to mess around, man. Everybody's waiting for this guy here. No further ado, here is BLAIR Morgan.
Yes.
Cheers, buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
How are you, BLAIR?
Hi guys, how you doing?
Great.
Good. Yeah. Welcome aboard. We got a big night ahead of us here. We got a lot of people. Corey Brock, he says we got a great guest on the show tonight. And Zap Swagger says he loves the videos. Keep up the good work. He says Andy78 KERR, he's looking forward to the show. And who else is in the house here? Dominator. Hey Gary, how's the snow? It's not very good in my area. Jason Campo, he's got a cottage in Quebec. He'll go there when everything shuts down. And then we got Wizco Sledheads heading to the Yamaha dealer because he needs to get some parts that he broke last ride. And Troy Albright's in the house here. Tony Cat, of course, he's in. Boy, he's beat. The hill was rough today. And Jumpman Jay, he's over on that side tonight. Hey, fellas, how's everyone this week? Cal Loose Sleds is up. Sup, guys? Jay Fly Low. Who else? Jay Caraco 22, Jerry Baldridge, Rob Overholds, Moose is in the house, the ultimate guest on the show tonight. Yeah, Miles Beatty Outdoors says, hey, what's up in Northern Ontario? Are the trails closing? I think they are. Some of them have. It's a sad day. Have you heard about that? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I read the article there. It's been all over the place. I had a bunch of people texting me today and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, did you read
One
the
doctor
response?
up there. One doctor
Did you read the retaliation?
Oh yeah, I stopped reading it, man. Everyone started getting
No,
angry. Everybody.
I'm just going to read something one of the guys put. He says, "Hey, attention." He says, "Glad they shut down the trails. Now I have more time to go to Walmart to buy essential video games. I'll head into 3 different Circle K's to find the freshest bag of cheese combos and a microwavable pizza for a late night snack. Then I'll head over to the LCBO to get my essential Captain Morgan Spice rum and a 12-pack of Busch. As I walk out of the LCBO, I'll notice that I don't have any mix. Being closer to Dollarama, I'll head in there to grab my mix and browse the candies and Valentine's decorations. Walking out the door, I glance at the family of 6 walking into Giant Tiger, so I figured a big sale of PPE must be going on. Unfortunately, no sales and limited stock, but I did dig up a puzzle in the sale bin. Some slime in a can, and a Bluetooth speaker that flashes its LEDs to the beat of your favorite song. I was getting sleepy after the huge day of essential travel, so I went to Tim Hortons to grab a coffee. The drive-thru was so busy, I decided it was easier to walk right in. As I watched 10 employees grab from the nice display of Timbits, I couldn't stop my temptations, and I ordered a 10-pack to go with my coffee. Pulling out of the parking lot, I was so hungry, I was on the fence about the 8 open grocery stores I should go to or head back to Walmart. Instead, I decided it was best to get the fast food. The dilemma ahead was it was before 8 p.m. shutdown time, so I couldn't decide on Subway, Mr. Sub, McDonald's, Burger King, A&W, Harvey's, Switzerland, Wendy's, or Taco Bell. With so many decisions, I figured it would be easiest just to run into Costco and check out their large menu of essential unhealthy food choices. My day was finally done. I was on the way home, and after all my essential shopping was done, then boom, Gaslight came on. This worked out perfect because the gas stations don't force us to pay at the pump. So I was able to pick up a couple scratch tickets, a charger for my cell phone, and got a good deal on 2-for-1 beef jerky. Frig, could you imagine I had to pack a trailside lunch, pay at the pump, and ride solo in nature's backyard on my snowmobile? I'd never have time to get anything done that I did today. The moral of the story is nothing makes sense anymore. Can we just end this, get on the same page, and start to live again? Hashtag rant over.
100%.
Isn't that awesome?
He did. He covered everything. That's what everyone's been saying, you know. Like all these big box stores making money, man. But we can't go out and ride in the wilderness with a couple of buddies, you know. Like, anyways,
it sucks. It totally sucks. I don't know. You know what? I get it. But they should have said. My wife and I were talking about it today. They should have just educated people on if you're going sledding. Don't 4 guys get in a truck together. One guy takes 4 sleds in his truck. The other guys drive their mom's Rogue and follow behind, hit the trail, still social distance, blah, blah, blah. You know, I get a lot of it, but I get that if you broke your leg or got in an accident, there's no beds for you. But, I mean, be prepared that you're driving back home, right? So, I don't know. Hey, Rev Rider 550's live.
Look at that.
I just got that. Yeah.
Always pushing those U.S. channels, you know?
That guy's always live when I'm on. We're going to bring John Luke in. Energy Passports. How's it going, John?
How you guys doing? You guys doing good?
Yeah. Are you right behind me?
Yeah. You're in the showroom. I'm in my office because lots of stuff happened today. It's the Toronto Boat Show start, but we won't talk about that. We'll talk about, what a crazy day. Crazy day.
Oh, it is. It is for sure. Blair Morgan, you're the GOAT. Brother, happy you're here with us. That's what Jumpman Jay says. And Bruce Stewart says, screw COVID. Miles Beatty Outdoors says, in Huntsville, we got over 2 feet of snow. So, yeah.
Shag Boys. Blair's a legend. So cool he's on. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he is. Blair is a legend. We're taking all his steam there. So give us a little rundown about. We won't go too much. We're gonna show some fan photos and then we'll get back to you. But give us a little rundown about who you are for the people that don't know, and what you're doing.
And sorry, I got to say this: if someone in the room does not know him, you need to leave. That's all I need to say. Right?
No, sorry. If you don't know him, put that out there, Blair.
Just is anyone in the chat never heard of Blair Morgan beside Andy 78 Kerr?
I mean, Bobby's.
They must be really young.
Exactly. Garrett, we all know who Blair is. Dominator 286 says, definitely get out, Jerry Baldridge. Okay, Blair, go ahead. Let's hear it, man. What's your soapbox speech?
I guess if people don't know who I am, I used to race snowcross. Oh, this is going back about 20 years ago. And I kind of grew up on a farm in Saskatchewan and just riding sleds and motorcycles. And just thought I'd give snowcross a try. It was kind of a new sport, really. There was some guys before me like Tony Heikkinen, Kirk Hibbert, just guys like that. So then, I ended up getting second in my very first race in West Yellowstone, Montana, and just kind of snowballed from there. I didn't even really plan on being a snowcross racer. I kind of was wanting to be a motocrosser, and end up taking over my whole life from there. Ended up winning countless races and championships and some X Games gold medals. And unfortunately, I got hurt in 2008 and kind of put my career to an end. But still get out on the sled, still get out in the side-by-side, and even the motocross bike still. So still ripping it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And for everybody that doesn't know, obviously, he dominated. Like you started the whole stand up in the snowcross. When I remember you dominating. I remember seeing the first time when you basically took over the torch from Tony Heikkinen. Like that was unreal. Like it was pretty wild to see. Like your style was unreal, and it changed the whole way snowcross was. So As a huge fan, I had to say that, man, because it was wild watching you race, man.
Everybody thought I was the weird guy because I stood up everywhere.
Yeah,
and everybody still sat down, and the tracks are getting very, very rough at the time. And obviously your legs are probably better suspension than anything out there. So just from my motocross background, really, that's how it all came about. And then they end up starting making snowmobiles like the Rev. That was kind of like the first stand-up rider forward machine, and it's kind of all gone from there.
When they did the Blair Morgan special edition sleds, how much involvement did you have? Did you have any input on, things like things to do with it? Like, was there anything special about it besides the high riser? And
not really. I think that came out in 2003, if I believe. We were already riding the Rev or racing it in 2002. So we were kind of obviously part of the racing. We were kind of a bit of a guinea pig to all the new technology. If we can't break it on the track, someone on the trail is not going to break it. So it's kind of how it goes. And so we had a full season of the Rev and very successful season. And then the production sled came out. And I didn't really have anything to do. We just have stuff to do with, I guess, the engineering side and just the race sled, really, which is kind of just trickles down into the production stuff.
Yeah. Well, what was do you remember your initial reaction going from like the old sit down style to the original Rev, the first time you rode it? Like, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, that first year, we actually rode the old MXZX chassis in the 440 class. So we had to I sometimes used to have to go back to back from riding the 440 to the open Rev 800. So just in like the motor size, it's like a huge difference. Other than the whole chassis, it was like night and day, and we had to like adapt really quickly to just riding it, just back to back, like 10 minutes apart on the racetrack. So it was a huge difference. Obviously, you could tell which one was better. It was the next year it was all Rev, but it was pretty difficult to ride, actually, the old style.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was watching a video with it and it had a guy from Arctic Cat on there, and he said basically that he heard about you, and then I guess he was probably your first sponsor, was he? When you're racing,
Jamie Ansu.
Yeah. So, and then when did the move to Skidoo happen?
I guess you could go back to like when it started. I rode Arctic Cats when I first started. So, me and my brother both got 1992 Prowlers. Kind of thought it'd be a good cross training for the motocross, and so Jamie Ansu, he was the head of the race department for all of Canada, and I think he was kind of friends with my dealer or something, and my dealer was telling him about this guy that comes in breaking like the weirdest stuff, like whole suspensions and blowing out shocks, and so then he kind of knew me from like the motocross scene. I kind of was a pro already at the motocross scene, and just asked if I wanted to try out snowcross, just kind of locally at the beginning, and so he got me a sled to use. That first year, did a couple local races in Alberta and Saskatchewan, and then at the end of the year, that's when I did that famous race in Yellowstone in the spring of 1997, I think it was, and so that's kind of glad I went down to that race, because I broke my shoulder in an arena cross about a month before that, so I was this whole thing almost didn't happen.
Wow.
Pretty insane. Do you want to join us for some fan photos, and then we'll get back into learning more about you? Let's get into some fan photos. Yeah.
I'm just answering some questions.
And again, thank you to Mike Eisenberg from Sled Addicts for bequeathing that riff on us. That's our trademark for fan photo sessions. So I'll just call up the old. I had to restart my computer because I had a little bit of a lockup there.
Oh, hey, look who it is.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's good. So,
all right, so you know who this is on screen there?
Yeah, we can see him.
Yeah.
It's our very own Bobby.
From Coda Bear TV. It's he says 2 weekends ago with Rev Rider, his buddy, and my dad.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
his dad there, right there. Yeah,
Conditions were a little low in snow, but we made the best of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It looks like there's a lot of snow there, but we just found a nice little untouched area for a picture. So
yeah, until Coda Bear brapped through that thing pulling a wheelie, and then it was gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
He looks like he just piled up the snow in the front and made it look deep.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, they made Bobby do that, right? This is that's not Coda Bear. Sorry, this is Archie Card. He says high school buddies, first time riding together since 2002. We're out riding with the wives, all of us on comms. Great ride, lots of laughs. And then I think the next one's a sunset. No, that one was it. Sunset in Schaefer, Minnesota. Trails closed 2 days later. We need more snow. Thanks for the show, he says. And then this is James Rice. He's 30 miles south of the Mackinac Bridge in Sheboygan, Michigan. It's an 04 Rev MXZ 600 SDI. He's got an 07 600 GSX SDI. He's got a 2020 Renegade 600 with a 137, 218 Arctic Cat ZR 6000 137, and he said it's from Jim at Scouts Outdoor Services. You got to super chat us if you're going to plug your business there, Jim. Come on, hit that button. We got Blair Morgan on, man. Your phone's going to be ringing all off the hook for outdoor stuff. Let's go here. Mitch Williams, look at that wrap.
That's
first
sweet.
real ride. I know. Look at the garage, too. He's put up a little bunk bed for Rich and I to stay on. And I'll get the bunk there. And Rich in the second. We get the tools there to fix the Polaris right underneath it. He got it.
That does look like a nice shop.
Isn't it? And look at the TV he's got. It looks like he's got MUDBRATS on the screen there. You know, that looks like my hand. Look at
some nice shovels in the background there too, and a rake. Looks great.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. First real ride of the year after breaking my rollers in my secondary. I think I got the Skidoo clutch stuff figured out. The 2006 Rev is a 500 SS with only 1,500 miles on it. He got it for a killer deal for his wife. He traded his wife for that sled? I'm going to put my wife on Kijiji.
Oh.
Yeah, send pictures of sled. Her sled also likes to stand up now. I got the clutches. Did about 100 miles this day. We almost didn't go, but we were so glad we did. It was an amazing day of fun. New trailer coming this weekend. We'll send a couple of updates of that as soon as he has it. There we go. Isn't that cool? And you know what the fan said to him there? He said, you know what he said, what's your favorite music? And it said, I don't know, I'm kind of a big metal fan. Come on, that's a good one. Tough crowd here, guys. Tough crowd. Mitch Williams would like that joke. Look at that, eh? That's what it's all about right there.
Oh, very nice.
You know, isn't that cool? I love those stops.
Bobby, is that place where you ride, where you put up the drone? Where you're looking?
That's actually Tug
maybe
Hill.
it's different.
I think it's the gorge. It might be at the gorge at Tug Hill. So not Old Forge, but that's another spot to see on trail in our area.
Yeah, familiar.
Hill? I thought it was. I thought that looked like the Tug.
The gorge.
For sure.
Yeah.
Whetstone Golf, Slowbee says.
There you go.
Yeah,
that is a wicked wrap. I like that.
It is.
The blue and the yellow looks wicked. Very
Probably
good.
wouldn't see much out of those headlights, though, huh?
Well, you can't with the dudes. I'm just joking.
Yeah, with the stock, dude.
You need to order
Maybe
a pair of. You need to order a pair
Eagle
of
LEDs.
bulbs.
Hey, Bobby,
the
you get
LEDs.
those in yet or what? You get
I
those
have not
Eagle
installed
LEDs?
them. I had a long weekend of riding, so I didn't have a day to do it. But hopefully by next week.
Yeah, they are good though, man.
Every
Everybody
day
that
you
puts them
don't
in loves
ride.
them.
Every day you don't ride with the Eagle Diamond Visions is a day that you're missing out on.
True. We had a little night riding, and I was regretting it. So
I bet.
definitely made a mistake.
I'm sure they're going to be on there next year. I keep saying it every year, but they got to be. Next
Yeah.
year they'll have LED lights.
Yeah.
We'll see. I bet you John Luke knows.
Yeah.
He's going to be putting you out of the
Luke,
LED business.
I know. Am I going to be a broke man next year? Yeah.
The race sleds have LED.
So do you Blair, what do you, yeah, they probably do for safety, right? What do you ride now, Blair? Like, what's that?
Yeah, like the mods or the pro class, I don't think they have a headlight, but I think the pro light does.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have LED. It's just small because they don't ride them at night, really. Well, they do, but there's lights on the track. They don't go trail riding with them.
You recreation ride, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And what kind of sled do you ride? Like what do you have?
Right now I have a 2021 MXZ TNT, I think it is 600.
It's the purple and gray one you have, right?
Yeah.
This purple and gray. It's got a wicked wrap on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got SCS wrap on it. I think I sent you a photo of it.
Yeah.
Did you get that email? I did.
Oh, the email you maybe sent me like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I probably did. We're gonna get to that. We'll get to this. Yeah. I got Rich here. He's gonna tell me it all anyway. So we'll just
yeah.
Hold on a second.
We lost somebody.
Oof.
Yeah, Jean-Luc.
Yeah, we got John Luke. I think he's in a meeting. So this is another one from Mitch, and I just put this one in because I know Rich likes to see skidoos pulling wheelies.
I don't know if you
take that for your uncoupled rear suspension.
Yeah, right.
Huh? There's probably a little bump there. Is there a ledge that he was hitting there?
Yeah, it looks like he's landing. Eh?
Take a guess where this is. Isn't that
Beautiful
awesome?
shot. Wow.
Yeah. This is Nathan Bradshaw. He says this is a trail up a mountain and through the clouds. We headed to a Super Bowl of snow. It was taken in Revelstoke, BC, back in March 2016. The snow was over 30 feet deep. If you have the chance to go do it, I can't wait to go back. And then the second pick, he says, is his girlfriend learning to ride last weekend. See, he didn't trade his girlfriend for a sled. He kept her and bought the sled.
Rookie mistake.
So, it was her first time on this was her first time on her sled, and she loved it. She's on my 2015 Switchback 800. It's hard not to fall in love with snowmobiling after riding one of these. Yeah, my buddy Jeff Hanley had that same one with the same, like it has the retro style graphics. So
those are cool sleds.
Yeah. So
have you guys been watching Muskoka Freerider? I've been watching his stuff lately too. He's on the Skidoo Turbo out west. He's got some wicked videos, man.
Oh yeah.
He's got the 154 and his dad's on the 165. They go up those mountains like it's no tomorrow, man.
He's even ripping a 146 in the mountains. Good for him.
Yeah,
putting it to work.
Yeah, he's a 146. His dad's got the long one.
The 165. Yeah. Did you see him though when he swapped off? He said to his dad, "Oh, I walked up that hill with the 165 hill up the mountain." That was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
You imagine what a 175 does in the mountains? It must be just insane.
Yeah.
You know? So Tad Hershey, he's always on, right? Look at what he sent us a picture of.
Couple mocks.
Mock 1000.
That's special. The 1000, yeah.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, Gary, Rich, and Bobby, great chat program. I enjoyed last week's discussion on the Ski-Doo 1000s. In the first picture, that's my buddy's white 2007 Renegade 1000. In the second picture, I'm in front of Rich. Have you ever gone to the gay bar on your snowmobile?"
Yeah, no, sorry, pal.
Wow.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? We got to say that, right?
Rich, I'm taking you down to Gay, Michigan. We're going to hit the gay bar.
Actually, you know what?
Races in Gaylord.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got a customer in Gaylord. Yeah, Michigan.
Yeah, we had races there, nationals there.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, we got to go back to this one here for a second. So he says, this is in the Keweenaw Peninsula, pronounced Keweenaw. I said that right. In January 2008, with my 2006 Renegade 1000 SDI, I mentioned on last week's chat that I put 4 motors in this sled. Yeah, I remember him saying that. Like most 1000 orders, I shouldn't have, but the 171 horsepower from the factory was too enticing when she ran. My third motor was a factory short block that ran about 3,000 miles. When I blew that one, I replaced the top end and sold it. I put 18 grand into it over the years, and my wife was begging me to buy a new one with the warranty. I eventually bought a 12 Renegade 800 E-Tech that's still going with 11,200 miles on it. Anyway, lots of fond memories of being towed out of the woods.
Too much. So I guess obviously they just like great idea, great concept, but just wasn't practical, right? They must have shook like crazy. I don't care what anyone says, right?
No, I've seen it.
BLAIR?
I've seen it, and it's not bad.
Those cats with the twins with those big jugs, they vibrated like crazy.
I rode a Thundercat.
Yeah.
One of those Thundercats. You remember those? I rode one of those.
Oh, yeah, the triples.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, those things, 1,000 cc's, but they were triple. They were a little bit more counterbalance.
It's not that bad, man. Skidoo just went 1,000 cc's, mic drop.
Yeah, and look what happened.
And then I think last week someone was saying that it was like low. I think you had actually said it, Rich, about being low and heavy and stuff. Look at this thing.
Sending it.
She's just giving her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's probably a reason why they stopped making them though.
If someone's got a 1,000, here's the deal. If someone's got a Mach 1,000, buzz me because I want to ride it, and we're gonna do a video on it because I'd love to just. I don't even have to ride it. I just want to hear it run and see you ride it, and you know what I mean. We'll put the shakeometer on it and see how bad it is or good it is. I love the gay bar in Michigan. That is by all means. I got to get a new sound effect for this one. Wait a minute. Maybe it does work.
Oh, here's some money. Corey Brock sent you $6.99. Thanks, Corey.
Wait a minute. We got to get the right sound effect in that.
He's cheersing BLAIR for that.
Hey, Gary, have a look. I sent you a couple of interesting photos that Mr. Blair Morgan might like. Okay,
perfect. I'm going to get to those because somebody gave him the wrong email address, John Luke.
And that would not be me. I'm not the host.
So Corey Brock says, hey, Gary, here's some money to buy your white ski loops. Cheers, Blair Morgan. You are a legend.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, buddy. Thanks, Corey.
He's a good guy, Corey.
Yeah, he is a good guy. He's been bugging me about, I got my wrap finished, so he's been bugging me about putting white ski loops on. I gave him a sneak peek because he's a good supporter. He's sending me money every week. So he's an awesome supporter. He bought a oxygen wrap off me, helmet wrap, and yeah, so he's good. He come over to pick up his wrap on Saturday, his second wrap, and I took him in the trailer and showed him my sled.
Nice.
He said, it looks good, but you need white ski loops. So I said, okay. He said, I'll super chat you the money. So we're almost there. $7 will get me one.
Jerry Baldridge, ultimate sound is a VMAX 4 with bender pipes. Couldn't agree more. Those sleds were wild. They were stupid fast.
Hey, the Michigan Outlaws is in the house. He said, love the podcast tonight, but huge guest. Congrats. Yeah. Absolutely. Looking good, Gary. That's what Corey says. So, Corey, let's go down to the gay bar next year. Me, you, and John Luke. We'll hold hands.
Oh, come on. It's a happy place. It's a happy place.
You guys got to be one with your sexuality. Is Muskoka Mike in the house? Muskoka Mike will tell you. I'll be the safest guy to be around in a gay bar. Who knows what you might meet? Look at this bad boy. This is awesome. Let's get back. We get sidetracked, Blair, on these fan photos, but it is a good deal.
I love the Blizzard, man. Always have.
Oh, not sexy. There's my white ski loops. Moose.
Just steal
He's
them.
in Tilsonburg too. Now I know he's in Tilsonburg. I can just go see him tomorrow and grab those.
You're in.
If he wakes up in the morning and has yellow ones, not the same yellow as those, then he might be upset. This is his 2016 Ski-Doo Blizzard 800 with only 4,900 kilometers. He added color matching foot reinforcements and
brand new.
Yeah, looks good.
I love that model.
Very nice. You know what? I wish they kept that model. I don't know. Maybe hopefully it's coming back. That's a wicked model. I love. Look at that. It's got the old colors with the striping.
Yeah.
That's what Mark Bow rides in the Gen 4.
No, for sure.
That one there.
That's
Listen,
a sweet looking sled.
he put idler wheels color matched, and look at his skids, white, not black like Mark Bow's. And guess what headlights he put in it? LED Eagle H4 Diamond Vision headlights a few weeks ago.
Only the best.
He must have got the last pair. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Moose. Appreciate that. Good guy. And this is Nunzio. Nunzio, he was our first guest, Blair. And do you recognize that handsome devil he's with?
Oh, no way.
That must be at the sled show last year.
Yeah, Toronto Sled Show. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he said he really enjoyed meeting you. He's a Polaris ambassador and said that he's going to switch over to Ski-Doo next year, first chance he gets. Wow. That's what he told me.
He's a smart man.
Oh no, he didn't tell me to say that. No, he's a good guy. He said he really enjoyed meeting you. He was our first guest of this show, and we love him just the same.
Great guy.
Brad Hitchcock, he's getting some miles in on Tuesday the 12th on, where was he, Bobby?
Gotta be Tug Hill.
Where was he? Tug Hill.
There it is.
He's getting, and then on Friday he went to Pharsalia, New York. Where's that, Bobby?
I have no idea. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
And if Bobby don't know, we don't know.
Yeah. There's Pharsalia, New York. Pharsalia.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. Not sure.
I'm liking that color on the snow.
Yeah, that looks good.
I wasn't sure when they first come out with that, but it's like it's the same as the Enduros that one year.
Yeah.
When they
it's funny, the different colors of that. That was one of those the local dealer near me that had two leftovers. That two guys that backed out. One of those colors was that, and then the lime color, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
But
the red accents really make it pop too.
It does.
Combo.
Yeah, it is nice. And then the ski loops. That is a nice color.
Yeah.
And then the red accents in the back of that. That does look wild.
Yeah. You know what I did to my seat today? I painted it.
You painted your seat.
Painted your seat.
Why don't you just snow vinyl, buddy? It's gonna crack and peel.
I don't think you understand. I'm broke. I got 16.
I think this guy probably has more money than all of us combined, and he plays the broke card. You better watch him.
Right?
All the people with money always play the broke card.
Exactly.
I work my tail off, and I'm not complaining at all, but I don't have $200 to swap out a seat, so it looks really good. Stay tuned for a video on that one.
Well, when you trade it in for your new sled next year that John Luke's going to hook you up with, it'll be good. You just add more dollar value to it. John Luke's like, it'll be special edition in the showroom.
Jared, Odie, the sled and car guy, I'm confident he's going to buy my sled next spring. Yeah. So we're going to write Odie if he's in the house. So, and then John Luke is going to talk to my wife.
John Luke, if I go here, if I go with Do, you'll take back. You'll take a Polaris trade-in, huh? Give me a fair deal.
Hey, look, we've taken it. I kid you not. This is not a joke. But in a previous life, I took a horse on trade, and it's not a joke. Yeah. So if it's got value, I'm not saying it's got a lot of value because it's Polaris. But,
if you have a billy goatee, take that instead.
So tell us
more about this. Now you got to tell us about this horse deal.
Okay, real quick story. So I worked previously at a car dealership. I was a general manager of Waterloo Nissan, Guelph Nissan Infinity. And in Waterloo region, for those of you who are in that area, there's a lot of Mennonite people. And this family came over and they wanted to purchase a truck, a black truck, of course. And they didn't have any trades. They had nothing of value. And said, would you take a horse? And it's like, are you kidding? So I brought in a horse expert, and we ended up transacting the horse in a transaction.
Yeah, now that's a salesman.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to the deal, and yeah, it was just the way it worked.
I've been in sales for 28 years, Jean-Luc, and honestly, that's up there. You took a horse, that's awesome. But anything to get the deal closed, that's awesome.
Hey, you know what? It's a lawnmower. We'll take a lawnmower. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Good, because I've got a lawnmower. I'll be
you're gonna be bringing in everything.
I hope you're not. Yeah.
Were you like, oh man, it's only like 9 hands high. If it was 10, I would have gave you an extra grand. You know. Actually, horses are worth a lot.
Yeah, I won't tell you what I paid for it, but luckily for me, it just so happened it was easy because one of our staff member was in a horse business. She actually traded horses, so she right then and there gave me a value. She said, "I'll buy it," and then that's how the transaction took place.
That's unreal. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's great. Moose says Gary's.
Sorry about that. Interrupt. I had to ask about that.
and Sledak said sledding will do that to you. You know what? You want to become a millionaire? You start with $1 billion and buy a snowmobile. That's how you become a millionaire.
Checks out.
Hey, wait, we're getting sidetracked here. This is Bailey Addis. He says, happy Monday to you, boys. See, here's another guy that sends in on Monday. Don't do this to old Gary. You got to send it in like, no, I don't mind it Monday, but get it in Monday before noon. How's that for you guys, a deal? And have we got prizes, Jean-Luc? Do we got a prize?
Yeah, well, so here's my little demo. We have some 7Cs t-shirt, and you're gonna laugh at this. This is a true story of a real owner. I got locked out of my own warehouse. People have left, but anyway, we got a bunch of t-shirts from Blair Morgan. Blair is gonna get a box sent to Saskatchewan. We'll get them to autograph them, and then you can go ahead and award them tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I had a question I was going to ask, and I forgot what it. I just laugh. And Dominator says, "Careful, Jean-Luc. Gary already mentioned about trading in his wife."
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
I love the chat. It's awesome. Riding Tug Hill tomorrow. We'll take some pictures. Snowstorm says. Nice. Oh man, I had a question anyway. I had a question I was going to ask. Anyway,
I got some good questions for the prizes tonight. Like I know a ton about Blair, so why don't you just leave them to me and I'll ask the questions and then we can give out the shirts that way.
If my question comes up, I'll ask again.
Yeah, perfect.
I'll ask it because I did have a question. I should have just asked it and then did it. Okay, sorry to put you on the spot there, Jean-Luc, but
no worries.
That is great though, Jean-Luc. Those are awesome gifts, man. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's awesome.
We'll make sure that he gets them. The box was supposed to ship out today. It might have shipped already, Blair, just so you know at your address.
Okay, sure.
And we'll get you to use a Sharpie, sign them all, ship them all back. We put a label in there for you.
Oh,
and then Gary, you'll have to keep track, Gary. I'm not keeping track of any of that stuff. You keep track of who wins, and we'll do the fulfillment out of here.
Sounds good.
Yeah, for sure. Is that Blair Morgan? How did you pull that off? I thought you were kidding. He's like Elvis in the house. I'm not worthy, Shedsky says. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Blair is a legend. Who's Elvis? Actually, Blair, my son, his name's Drew because my wife didn't want to name him Blair, but it was supposed to be Blair. It was totally.
Really? Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. And I settled with, okay.
There's a family in Minnesota. I met at Heydays, and both their kids is named Blair, and the other one's named Morgan.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's great. Somewhere there's a little Richard. There's a little Richard walking around. There's a little Hup walking around. So I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Did we talk about what Bailey's up to? besides the tractor there, he says, "Can you believe we're on episode 21 already? Haven't missed one yet. Is he in the house right now? If he hasn't, we'll just skip to the next slide." Bailey Addis. He's probably
got there all murdered out.
That's
yeah. He wanted to share some long-awaited photos. He ordered a new 7x23 Stealth Predator back in October, and it finally came in. Hoping to bring it up to northern Wisconsin this upcoming weekend. Happy with how it turned out. Hoping everybody gets to shred some snow soon. Fingers crossed for dumping of some pow.
Right on. Hey, I got to say something here, Gary. David McKinney's in the house. He's like, "BLAIR OG inspired my career. Thanks for all the great years of racing. Still have an 03 Morgan Racing sign poster in the shop." That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
David 509. Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm going to ask David McKinney if he's going to give that as a prize.
He will be giving that up.
Prize tonight.
Yeah.
There we go. I love David too. He's a good guy. I've been watching that show Yellowstone. Have you guys watched that TV show?
I'm supposed to start up. My brother and all friends are watching it right now.
Yeah, the son that lives on the reserve, he reminds me of David McKinney, man.
Oh, yeah?
He does. Oh yeah, David. If you watch it, you see how you look in my eyes, not how you look in my eyes. How you look in my eyes. Jason Lapointe. He says he's out for a ride with his son, and this is on the new anti-gravity ski-doos for 2022. You want to know what's involved in store? This is it.
I'm not gonna feel a single bump, that's for sure.
No, it's got a little button. You know, it's got the MS, the mud and snow button on the revs. Well, there's a middle one that's A, and it's anti-gravity. So, isn't that right, John Luke? Yes. Nod your head and said yes.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, wholeheartedly. Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted. Trying to sell a skidoo.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have any skidoos to sell. That's what you told me when I brought my trader.
Today I was very lucky. I got a call from a dealer who said, "Hey, I got a few left. You want to buy them?" I said, "I'll buy them all." So, yeah.
Nice.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
there's a dealer with sleds left. Wow.
Yeah,
I was down to 0, but and I have to help out an NHL goalie right now who's looking to buy one. So we'll see. I can't say who.
Yeah, they're not allowed to ride.
Correct.
I know a few of those guys.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
What do you think of these sleds there, Blair?
Yeah, awesome.
Nice.
Really good.
Oh, yeah.
This is Corey Brock. He says, "Hey, Gary, you're Superman." Oh, sorry. He said Gary saw Superman Morgan was going to be on the show tonight. So I thought it would be a good role to send in a few pics of his 2003.5 Blair Morgan Edition 800. And it had a few custom things on it to make it his own, but he still has all the original parts.
That's awesome.
I took off. Love the show. Keep it up. Right on. There he is.
He never wanted to trade that in, by the way.
No, man, that's a keeper.
For sure.
I know, but he sold it. I think he sold it. I mean, Corey, I think if
No, he didn't.
Right, he didn't?
No, he still got it. Because we were going to bring it to your dealership on Saturday and put it and get some pictures of it. And then it was going to be behind me in the shop. But it's buried. It's buried in his dad's garage.
That's
I'll go
awesome.
pick it up.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So, Blair Morgan, when you come on next, we'll Corey and I'll be out riding this thing.
Cool. Yeah. I've heard of a guy in New York that has one that's brand new, has like 0 miles on it.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Some like a sled wrecker guy. I forget where it was. Someone told me once that they sent it to me on my Instagram, but yeah, apparently it's brand new.
Wow. Do you ever want to buy one of those, or is it something? Do you own one? Like, do you have one of these?
I don't have one. They sold out of them really quickly, and I kind of never rode like any production stuff because that was like when I was deep into the racing. So I always just had the race sleds around. But it'd be cool to have one now. I have a friend that has one. I do have a Blair. They made a Blair Morgan Arctic Cat in 2000, I think. I have one of those actually in my shop with like maybe 100 miles on it. So
Awesome.
at least I have something memorable.
What if Skidoo would be able to track you one down though, Blair? I'm sure they probably would, eh?
I've heard sometimes there's ones pop up on Kijiji, but I have a friend that has one. But I think he's got like 8,000 or 9,000 miles. But I do run into people all the time when I'm at the races. They say they have them and they still ride them. And I think one guy said he had like 16,000 miles on one. He still has it. So that's kind of cool because apparently it was a really good sled. Like I think it was the first. They didn't have like that little tail section on it of the rev.
The beaver tail.
Yeah.
Beaver tail,
That was 2003. So 2003.5. So they didn't have that silly beaver tail thing on that no one liked.
Yeah, I like the beaver tail. Listen, Rich has answered the question, but I want to hear your opinion on it. Shag Boy says that your number 7C. Tell us a story about how the C got on there.
Well, yeah, my lucky number was always 7, and we went to the first race in Duluth, and somebody already had number 7. So you know how they always used to put like a 7X, like an X on it or something. And for some reason, a lot of guys put letters in their numbers in snowmobile racing, so we put C for Canada.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Called it.
Snowstorm says, I believe 7C sled is at Hoodson's in Barnveld, New York. Yeah, Hudson's Sledge Salvage. Yeah. Hudson's Sledge Salvage. Yeah.
Apparently he's
mistaken.
I wouldn't take nothing for it. Like apparently you're never gonna sell it, this guy. So
not even if you wheeled in there and traded your wife?
Yeah, I'd definitely do that, yeah.
It's amazing though to see in any pro sports too how some guys Blair, and like I've even from hockey players, like pro sports players, where they actually don't have any of their own stuff that they had, and it's kind of weird in a sense. But I understand it because when you're in the moment, and you're doing the sport, you're not thinking about collecting what you're doing. But after a while, you realize, like it's like wow,
I barely have anything. I think I have like one race suit from like my riding days, and my buddy, like my neighbor and my brother, they have some that I've given to them like back in the race day. But I used to give out so much stuff back in the day just to fans or charities and stuff like that. That's but cool. I barely kept anything for myself. Like I kept my helmets because they were like custom painted, but other than that, nothing. I don't like race suits. I think I have like one pullover that I kept from my racing days, so which is kind of weird.
Wow.
You have an old mod sled, right? One of your old race sleds?
That's the one thing I guess we kept was one of the mod sleds that I won X Games on. It's actually at our local dealer right now, so that's I guess another thing that I kept. But guys like I think Levi Lavallee and like Tucker, I know Hibbert. I was at his place last year, and he kept all his championship sleds. So he has 17 sleds in his shop.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's like wild. It's insane. Like he didn't want us taking photos of stuff, but it was probably the most insane shop I've ever been to, and how nice he's got it. And then an old A-frame barn that he added to, and so it's like new, and then there's some really old stuff in like old wood. It's really sick.
Yeah, I heard he's got a collection very similar to Dale Earnhardt. Very similar, senior, because apparently he kept a lot of stuff too, and I guess Junior has all his race stuff too, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Snowmobiling's cooler because it takes up less room.
Yeah, 17 snowmobiles do take up a bit of room, but he's got them hanging on his walls everywhere, which is really sweet.
When you got inducted into the Snowmobile Hall of Fame, Blair, did you have to give stuff for them to have, or like how did that go down? Or
well, that's another thing. I guess we do have.
Did you give any of your own personal stuff for them to have?
Yeah, we do. Okay. I think have some race gear, and I think they have an Arctic Cat or 2 Arctic Cats of mine, and Ski-Doo. Okay. So I'm not sure if we gave them to them or it's kind of like lent them it. So I don't know.
I would go and see. That's what I'm saying. You say I lent them to you.
I don't know if
we nag on the deal
donating it, but it's just sitting in a museum, so it's awesome that people can like go and look at it. I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it's rather than sitting in my shop collecting dust. But if they ever, I guess, decide to like part ways and sell everything or something like that, it'd be nice to kind of get that stuff back.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Listen, Shag Boys wants to know who is the best racer you ever raced against, Blair?
Best racer, obviously, I would say Tucker.
Yeah, there you go.
We were actually really good friends. You know, we had some battles on the track, but we kept it kind of clean. But like someone who was like my biggest rival would, I guess, would say Chris Vincent, where we kind of didn't like each other very much, and it was a big battle. Like we were always banging bars everywhere we went, and I always end up finding each other on the track all the time too, which is weird.
I remember when he went to Yamaha there for a while. It was surprising that those couple of years he went to Yamaha, but yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, we had some run-ins for sure. Some on and off the track run-ins.
Oh, yeah. And Shag wanted to know if you wanted, or someone said that you should go over to Pasty Boy's house and his brother Zook. He's got a Blair Mogan. They want you to pop by and bless it because he said more issues with that sled. Probably donate it. He said he'll probably donate it to you. He's had more issues with that thing.
Oh. Well, yeah, the guys I run into to say they have like 15, 16,000 miles on them, they're on like their third or fourth motor, obviously. So.
Yeah. With Zook, it's self-inflicted, I think, more than anything else. This is my buddy.
Leave stuff alone.
Yeah, this is my buddy trucker Paul Mitchell. He said, "Here's a pic of my Blair Morgan. The sled was awesome. It was one of my fastest I've ever had. He loved the look. He wished Skidoo would go back to that yellow."
Yeah.
Agree.
Kind of all polished.
Yeah. Oh, Paul is very, very, very anal about everything. Used to see his truck and trailer combo, man. It's clean, clean, clean. Yeah. Good guy too. I didn't know if he says was. I tend to think that his son rides that sled unless they got rid of it last year or the year before. But I know when I rode with him a couple of years ago, they still had the BLAIR at home because he just got into an 850, and I'm pretty sure they kept that as a second backup. So he might be into something else too. Very good guy. You can trust what he says for sure. So
there's a question here, Gary. Blair, what is your favorite race sled? What would have been your favorite race sled overall from both brands? I guess he's just asking what would be your.
Well, I really liked the Revs, like when it first came out. So like the kind of probably the last year Revs, like the one I kept, I think was probably my favorite sled of all time. Just because, when they first came out, it took us a while to really get them dialed in. So usually by the time you got them perfectly dialed, you're onto like a new chassis or something. So that was my first, probably 2005 800 Rev. My Arctic Cats, I had one of my first years. We had the 678 Black Magic motor, and it was so responsive and quick. It was like probably like the coolest motor I've ever had. It was more like a dirt bike than anything else I've ever ridden. So, so that was, I think, my 98 open sled. So it was like a 678 Black Magic motor, which is like it revved really high, and it was really cool. Really cool.
Right on.
Nice.
Good question.
Listen, David McKinney, 509 filmed guy. He says, Blair, do you know Cody Sandman? I see he has your 07 XP mod that he's been working on fully restoring.
Oh, yeah. Sandman. Yeah, he's one of the Warner mechanics. He's Francis Peltier's mechanic.
Oh, there you go.
I'm correct. I'm not sure. I haven't been to the races yet. I'm pretty sure that's who he's wrenching for. But yeah, I know the Sandman.
Nice.
That's cool. That's cool. So this is Andy KERR. He sent me these pictures. If you watch my channel, when I first got the DT, his son Wyatt KERR took my DT 200R on a motocross track, and his son Wyatt KERR is a 250 intermediate and open intermediate. He won both provincial classes last year, and he's got Loretta's in sight again for 2021 in the 250B class. This kid's a rocket on a bike. He was down to Loretta's and he cleaned up not last year, the year before. They couldn't get down there last year, but
Right.
he was all set to race. So Andy says that Wyatt got, do you know Doug Henry?
Yeah, I just gonna say that's Doug Henry on that one.
It is. So Wyatt got to meet and ride with Doug Henry, an old AMA motocross racer that still races MX and rides downhill mountain bikes. It's a similar situation to Blair's, that he continues to inspire people with what he does with his new restrictions. I guess he says, ask Blair what he would change in his life if he had to do it all over again.
Well, yeah, I know Doug pretty well, actually, because we raced at X Games together on the snow bike thing the last few years. And he's an animal on the bike still. So he won all the races at X Games the last few years. And, yeah, he hucks all the jumps the pro guys do and stuff. And he's got a pretty cool setup. He's got like a little mountain bike shock underneath his seat. So he's got a bunch of cool little add-ons to his bike to help with like the suspension. So, but yeah, Doug was like AMA motocross champion. Won supercrosses and stuff. He was a top guy back in the day.
That's awesome. He says, Andy says, as a dad of an up and coming MX racer, what advice would you give to the dads with struggle with advancement in the industry and competing against riders with all the deep pockets? We're humble racers and don't have all the factory backing. Wyatt has a will to compete and a drive to win. School has been very important to me, and I have made Wyatt finish school and do well, or he doesn't do his sport. We haven't had the resources or opportunity to homeschool and train full time. What would you suggest for areas to focus in on and keep advancing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel that like if the kid's really motivated and has heart in it, that's worth more than anything out there, even the deep pockets. You see some of these people with money, you know, they throw everything at the bike. Kids are kind of lazy. They kind of don't go anywhere sometimes because they don't have to work hard for it. Where I think if you get a guy that doesn't have much, you know, kind of growing up, you know, they kind of dream about like racing and have a big heart, and you know, I think that's a better situation, really. So, I don't know. You know, you can throw a lot of money at bikes and snowmobiles, and it's really down to the rider. You know, if you train hard and believe in yourself, and you can beat these guys that, you know, spend big money on their stuff. That's what I felt, and that's what you kind of see that nowadays in the racing too, where you know, you have these kids that have everything given to them, and they don't even know how to put fuel in their sleds or bikes. You know, it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I know they've had their bikes taken right down, like contested, and you know, it's just like they have to sit there heartbroken while a stock bike is getting torn to bits right before like the third race, and like talk about throwing your game off because you're not allowed to see the bike. They take it away and then they roll it back to you right before the race starts. So it's they've had everything thrown at them, and the kid competes. I just posted a link to Andy's channel with Wyatt on there. So if you're into motocross and you want to see some videos, he's got a lot of helmet cam footage and different things in there. So I just posted on both of our in the live chat there. Go check out Andy78 KERR. Click on subscribe and give that guy some love. Will you?
You know what, Gary, like Blair was saying, though, you know, if he keeps winning and pulling stuff off, though, man, the factories will start noticing him. So, you know, just keep, obviously, just keep plugging away, man. He'll get there.
Yeah, the guys that are looking out for riders, and they look for everything like that. They look for these young kids that are hardworking, you know, good family situations, you know. That's like kind of like me. Like I just kind of started from nowhere and just kind of. They start seeing you start winning races, and that they're obviously taking notice.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. And he says, Andy had one more thing. Can you get into the differences between the American racing culture versus the Canadian racing culture? The Americans have a very different culture compared to Canada. Tell them thank you for being such a great inspiration for us, Andy and Wyatt. So did you run into any problems being a Canadian in the US and vice versa? Like, what do you think about that?
That's a tough one, I guess. I spent a lot of time down there and got to, I guess, know a lot of like, obviously when I rode for Arctic Cat, it was out of Minnesota, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, obviously they have a bit of a different mentality, thinking that they're the best and stuff all the time, which is sometimes true. Especially you see that in the motocross side, especially. They get to ride all year round, so that's a big thing. Where in Canada, unless you travel down there, you can't ride every day down, in Canada in motocross. But on the snowmobile side, I think it's a bit more level playing field because we obviously get to ride maybe even more than they do sometimes. So like that would help me maybe because I was able to ride in October before the season starts, where a lot of these guys only got to ride maybe a week or two before like the first race in Duluth. So it's, I guess geographically, I guess that's maybe an advantage, I guess. But other than any problems, I didn't really. A lot of people thought I was American actually to begin with, and I don't know. I kind of blend in well, I guess. I kind of, when you go down there, you kind of blend in, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, no problems really. I have a lot of American friends still, obviously, and we travel down to all the ice hockey races, and it's cool seeing all the fans and stuff like that. Still, but it's just. Mentality wise, sometimes you can kind of see that, I think in the US they're really driven to be the best all the time. And whereas Canada, I think we're a little more reserved on, just more, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's hard to explain, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it because when you're Canadian and you're bumping and grinding in the corners, you're always going, sorry.
Maybe they think we're all really polite. Oh yeah, so sorry.
Sorry for winning.
That's awesome.
Just go ahead. Michigan Outlaw says riding snowmobiles in October. What a dream.
Yeah, normally out west, right?
Yeah, you could ride earlier than that if you went up to elevation. But sometimes I'll hear in Saskatchewan. I think once I was riding like October 10th once, and usually it melts away and goes away, but sometimes we get these freak snowstorms where we can actually ride early October, but which anything helps because we go into that first race all the time. Sometimes with a week of testing only, so it's quite different.
Wow.
Another good question here, Blair. Which did you enjoy more, motocross or snowcross?
I get asked that a lot. It's kind of, I don't know, not really a loaded question. I kind of grew up thinking I was going to just be racing motocross, and the snowcross thing kind of just happened. But then once it did happen, I really enjoyed it. I was actually happy. I was able to do both. In the summer, I raced motocross, and in the winter, I did the snowcross. So
yeah.
I think the motocross helped my snowcross career immensely, and the motocross thing I kind of put on the second step, where it was kind of basically if you want to be a big motocross guy, you have to be riding all year round. So I kind of use that just for training and just keeping on top of the game, really.
Right on.
Yeah, nice.
Question.
Well, I think there is some overlap there. Like I was saying to Andy, I'd love to see Wyatt. I bought an ex snowcross sled and I converted it to trail, and it was a 550X, and I wanted Wyatt to ride it so bad. And they have like at Chicopee where they do the season ender. You can ride what you bring if you want to go in the amateur race. And I so wanted Wyatt to do it. Like I would have trained him and let him ride it here to get some seat time. And I'm sure it would have been like a young Blair Morgan out there ripping. So, yeah, that's awesome.
How old were you, Blair, when you got your first sled?
Well, we always grew up on a farm, so we always had snowmobiles. My dad had snowmobiles. I have an older brother. He's basically 10 years older than I am, so he always had stuff before me, and he raced before me, and that's kind of how I got into it. But I think the first sled that I rode was one of those old 250 Elans with like the bogey wheels.
Nice.
I think it was like a 70, 76 or 77, something like that.
Wicked.
So that was kind of the first sled that I rode, because those things were pretty small and not very fast, obviously. But I think it was like 4 years old or something like that,
Oh,
or
wow.
5 years old. So yeah, it was early on the sleds. I didn't really get into the motocross thing until I didn't start racing actually until I was like 13. So I didn't really have a motocross bike. I used to race BMX bikes, like pedal bikes. So I was really into the pedal bike thing when I was really young. And I think that kind of actually helped me in my career too, just learning how to be smooth and conserve energy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but the snowmobile thing, like, really didn't really get into like snow cross type, like heavy big jumps and stuff until, like I think when we got our like Arctic Cat Prowlers, because everything before that had like leaf spring suspension. So I used to break a lot of stuff. When I was
and then the Arctic Cat guys would take back your Prowlers, and probably use it as testing and that.
They're written off. I think I still have that chassis down at the farm. And I think it's like basically broken in two, and it's just a frame just rotting in the bush somewhere.
Nice.
So, what would you say was your favorite X Games win of all of them? Do you have a favorite?
They all were really good because it was such a big race for us. A lot of pressure, like huge pressure to win that one. It was almost worth more than a whole championship and winning every single national. So that was, even if you didn't win, just having that weekend over with was such a huge weight off the shoulders. But winning was awesome. It was kind of like riding a high for like a whole year, knowing that you won the X Games. So I think one of the last ones where I think Levi Laval, it was Levi. He was out front, like way out front. I was in second, and it was like I kind of always accepted. Oh, I'm just getting second. Levi's gone. Like he was 10 plus seconds ahead. I was kind of reeling him in a little bit. I don't know if that made him nervous that I was coming on pretty strong and near the end, and he ended up crashing there on the last lap. It's pretty famous, I guess. But that was probably the biggest, because I just went from like, I'm getting second. Like there's nothing I can do here about this, to winning. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I remember that race.
That was an awesome race.
I had a pretty good, I think a year or 2 years before that, I had a really good battle with Tucker for like the win. That was another really good one. But they all were good, but those two were like, especially the one with Levi, like, I had to come through the pack a little bit, and I really had to work hard. And I kind of like, I guess it was a good thing, never give up. Like people say, never give up. And I didn't give up. I was probably gaining like 3-4 seconds a lap on him, and that could have been why he crashed, because I was coming in pretty hot.
He knew you were coming on.
Probably maybe picked up the pace, and that ended up making him crash. But that's, you tell kids never give up, and there you go. That's a perfect example for that.
Tearing the strips off your goggles, looking behind you. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
Like,
that was an awesome
the X Games tracks, they were like basically like a supercross track, so they go back and forth on each other. So when you hit a jump, you just look over. You can just kind of gauge yourself if you're catching or losing time on people. So he probably would look over and see how much I was gaining all the time.
That was an awesome race.
It was, that
and the Tucker was a great battle.
We have a super chat to take care of from Zach, and he says $4.99 to Bobby. I grew up racing snowcross, racing Gaylord at the fairgrounds. Was able to watch BLAIR race there at nationals. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
That's great. Listen, we're going to do a contest for one of Energy Powersports' 7C shirts autographed by BLAIR. Here's a question. How many, I've got both chats up on screen. It's when I see the first answer to this wins. How many X Games championships did Blair Morgan win? Go.
The message board is going hot.
89.
Let's go. Oh, they're slow
Everybody's
here.
Googling. Everybody's Googling.
There's 3/4, 5 slow.
Nope.
They could probably find out how many wins I have. That'd be easy, but
How many?
Yeah,
8.
there we go.
Super Machine got it.
Super Machine got it.
Super Machine gets her.
Good job.
That's good.
Nice.
I got another good question,
job,
Gary, when
dude.
you're ready to give another shirt away.
Why don't we do that now? Let's just give a round of applause to Super Machine first.
Awesome.
That was a hard question. That was a good one. Blair came up with that one out there.
But a lot of people know I've won 5, but I have also 2 silvers and a bronze too.
Yeah, total of 8. Yep.
Even
all right. What year was Blair inducted into the Snowmobile Hall of Fame? Go.
That's a good one too.
Yep. Come on, guys.
We're still getting numbers.
We're all Googling it.
Oh, years. There we go. Okay, Big Tom, the first one. Oh, very close.
Big Tom.
Yep, there you go. Jerry Baldridge got it. Jerry Baldridge got it.
Who did? No, Big Tom.
2013. Jerry, good job, buddy.
Oh, Jerry Baldridge did? Okay, perfect.
Yep,
awesome.
Job. Well, that was good, man. That was fast. That was. I didn't think anyone would get that fast. That was good.
That's cool.
Very good.
A lot of guys got it right. I see in the normal chat.
Yeah, nice to see.
Yeah. Awesome.
Zach Mitchell says, hope to Rev Rider, hope to meet up this year at some point to put some miles on snow.
Heck yeah.
Well, you guys aren't getting shut down there like we are up here, eh, Bobby?
No,
it
was
crazy, man.
It was crazy busy out there this weekend. It was like
Really?
a snow cross track with the moguls, and you couldn't go 20 feet without seeing 5 or 6 sleds.
So it was busy.
Oh yeah, it was mobbed. It was our first like big weekend of snow, so everyone came out.
What was everybody pretty good though? Like keeping the distance and staying, like pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good with all that. Everybody had their masks on, walking through inside and stuff, and the bars themselves weren't busy. The tables were kind of filled up, but they had stuff to block everybody off. So they're doing their best.
Yeah, very good.
I got some pictures from Blair and John Luke, so I had to group them all because they were late. Again, here's another question for a shirt. We got another shirt, John Luke.
How many shirts are you sending?
You're saving 3 for Rich, Bobby, and me, though, aren't you?
Yes, we each get a shirt, please.
You're saving.
We ended up buying 250 shirts. We're not giving 250 shirts tonight. But we
248.
And I think we can probably you can give a few more.
That's awesome.
Okay,
appreciate it.
Okay,
that's
listen,
really great.
What email? First time I see the first time I see up here. What email do you send fan photos to before noon on Mondays every week? First one that gets it right wins a shirt.
Now, why do I feel it's a shot on me? All right.
No, it's not. It's a shot on Blair Morgan.
Blaming the guest.
Jumpman Jay is dyslexic too. Jumpman Jay. Where was there anyone sporting the mask from MUDBRATS sometime as now says?
I didn't see any yet, but I'm sure I will soon. They're going to be out there. I know.
I got 4 masks from you, Gary, and they were great, man.
Michael Milner got it.
There you go.
He got it first. There you go, Michael Milner. Congratulations. You knew it. It is, and also too. Jumpman Jay got it, and
I was going to say he got Jumpman was in there pretty quick too.
Yeah, but he was late. He was late on it. Jumpman Jay was dyslexic on the first one, so but this is the mask he's referring to. So go get him. stufflikethis.ca/masks, and you can even get one of the cool. Yeah,
I bought 2 Skidoo and 2 Polaris, and they're great masks. They're awesome.
The Polaris ones break, and the Skidoos are still going, or what?
Yeah. No, they work good. I don't know, man. They're good. You just keep them on your sled, and they're awesome, right?
I know. That's great. I'm not a big Gator guy, but the Gator has got me a believer now, man. It's under the oxygen. It's amazing. So, hey, Blair, I'm a huge Team Lavalley fan, a big Amsoil Snowcross fan. I've gone to Salamanca for the past 4 or 5 years. Do you think Geneva or Grand Rapids will allow spectators?
Yeah, that's a good question. I heard even like Canterbury and Minneapolis is a question mark also. So the New York one is for sure, I think, has been canceled for this year.
Canceled, yeah.
Yeah. Not sure about the Michigan one because it's later. It's in March. It's actually the last one this year. Lake Geneva isn't the last one. So I guess we'll have to see. You know, it's a good month or 2 months from now. So hopefully everything goes on. I actually hope that I can get down to maybe the last one also. So yeah, hope this silliness gets over quick so we can get back to normal lives.
Yeah, I think Supercross is allowing fans, so you would think that Snowcross could kind of figure something out, but maybe by then they will.
That's Texas too, so
yeah, a little different.
Yeah,
everything's big in Texas.
Yeah, so I think what they're allowing 10,000 in a stadium that holds 60 plus.
Yeah,
so that's not too bad. It looks like it's empty when you watch the Supercross, but there's 10,000 people there.
No, I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one big stadiums.
Yeah, Andy 78 KERR took me to the Supercross the last few years. So
yeah, but I think in Dubuque they had fans. They had some sitting. I'm not sure how many they allowed, but I think there was some there in Iowa.
Yeah,
as this last weekend. But yeah, hopefully you get to go again.
Mr. Snow Rocks wants to know who's your pick for Supercross this year, Blair.
For like championship, that's a tough one. There's a lot of guys that can win. Yeah, I kind of called BRADSHAW to win the first one because he's always good that first one. But for championship, that's a pretty big one. There's at least 5 for sure that can win or more. But yeah, that's a loaded question.
I'll
say Ken Rock can stay healthy. If Kenny can stay healthy all year, I'm gonna say Ken Rock.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Long time overdue.
Looks like he has the speed.
Someone else is Roxon too. 6 String Brian says that, hey, there's a lot of dispute in the chat about check the timing on that one, Zach says, and Shag.
I know. They're all complaining here because everyone wants Blair Morgan shirts. We watched quickly there, man.
Yeah. You know, there's some lag and it depends on where you are, you know, but I'm looking at my screen for both of them and see. So we'll see what happens. Hey, listen, we got some more pictures we got to get to here.
Yeah.
Before we get kicked out hold on. I got to figure out where this went.
By the way, Jean-Luc, your dealership's unreal, bud. Like that thing's nicer than any car dealership I've been in. I was watching on Instagram there the virtual tour for the boat show. That is a wicked, beautiful dealership you have there, my friend.
I appreciate it very much. Yeah, we worked really, really hard at it. It's too bad right now we don't have any sleds to show. I think both of the sleds that are in are my demos. That's it. But yeah, it's I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very professional, very nice. So you guys check it out. All right, sorry, Gary, what do we got going on here?
Hey, no problem. Well, I think Jean-Luc sent me this. Did you not?
Yeah. So a little bit of story about that. These are 2 young guys. They race in the summer Sea-Doos, and they race in the winter in the Snowcross. They're from one of our very, very good customer, Ryan. Those are his sons, Noah and Nathan. Noah is, if I'm not mistaken, I think the one who's given the thumbs up. Well, actually, sorry, the one to the right. Nathan is to the left. So they're good little racers, but they race all year round, either Sea-Doo or Skidoo. So obviously one of them had a little bit of a mishap, and they ended up actually putting some numbers on the wheelchair for fun. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, they're good guys. They're awesome kids. Yeah, and you can actually check them out. If you check out JetX on YouTube, I think they got a YouTube channel, or they definitely have some stuff on Instagram and Facebook. You can see the kids doing the big jumps over the mountains. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I see they got the Team Boss Jimmy John's hats. It's nice.
Yeah, if you take a look at the picture at the bottom that you've got there, Gary, if you switch to the next one, you'll see them racing. No, just at the next picture I sent you.
Oh yeah, that's this one here.
Yeah, right exactly. On. So of course I don't know with the helmet on. I don't know who's who in the zoo, but and then 2 pictures down is I think it's Noah who met you, Blair, at the airport.
I was just gonna say, it looks like the airport carpet.
Yeah, there you go.
That's funny. You know, you spend too much time at the airport when.
Yeah.
That looks like Minneapolis Airport. I spent a lot of time on that one.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
They're awesome kids, and you're probably going to see an Energy Powersports sticker on their sled at some point in time. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That looks like that Blair Morgan guy there too. How lucky is
That's cool. That's a great picture. Right on.
I love seeing the little kids race like that. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
So who's this? Who's this?
Oh, look at that. That's Superman, baby. That's it right there. That was the first. Yep.
That's the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's doing the Superman, hence his name.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome.
Did people hate when you got cocky like that, or was it a running joke? Were people laughing? Did they like it, or was it more of an in your face kind of thing?
No, the fans really liked it. I know that. Because even like the announcers and like then it was the WSA, they were like, oh yeah, do tricks all the time. They like it. So yeah, we had that was early in the year, this one, because we have the orange seat and the orange skis and the orange belly pad, and we had to take those off because we were only supposed to have orange on like the jacket and helmet. So we're not supposed to have orange on the sled, so we had to take all that stuff off. So this is a pretty rare photo, I think.
Oh wow!
I think it was only maybe Duluth we ran this. It looks like Duluth, or maybe the next weekend, but we had to take it off.
But that was the other thing too, though, Blair, why you took off, because you brought over that motocross style, and everyone's like, "What the heck's this guy doing? This is crazy." And that's when snowcross really started getting huge. I remember that. And like I said, I don't mean to bring it up. I remember Tony Eichenen, he was like, where's this guy coming from? Like, what is he doing? Like, that was
a big trick for back then too. Like now they're doing double backflips and stuff, with stuff like that. Like that was a kind of a big trick.
Well, you think about it. Look at this, again, the technology and the design of the sleds back then compared to now. That was hard to do, man. Right? I would imagine, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
First time I saw snowcross in person, Blair was running that 97. Michael Milner says, "This is Nathan from the picture John Luke just put up." I don't know what that means. Blair, do you have any good sled neck stories?
Sled necks? Well, we basically did, was it Sled necks 2 Y2K? I actually have an unopened VCR or VHS tape right there, and that's when we did the Blair Morgan project video also. So that was West Yellowstone. We filmed a lot of that stuff, and that was a good time, a really fun time. We got some pretty awesome footage, and other than that, that was kind of like the beginning of kind of where freestyle kind of took off and the racers kind of went the other way. You know, guys started doing like crazier tricks, and then they focused just like on the freestyle. That kind of started around that time too. So, you know, the racers kind of stopped doing the tricks really, because the stuff that they were doing on the freestyle side was just insane. So it was, and it's lifestyles were quite different also.
Yeah, no kidding, right? What are we looking at here? I love the sticker on that picture there.
This one here, yeah, that's one of the X Games wins. I think that was my very last one. 06? I think 2006.
Yep.
Sled was like pretty stock looking. I think it looks good, nice and clean. Those sleds worked really well. I think this is the last year of the Rev, and I really liked the Rev. I actually liked it better than like the new XP chassis for the first little while. But once we kind of got the XPs figured out, like you can see how you know, and even to the Gen 4 now, like the Gen 4 is awesome. Like obviously I'm not riding it hard, but just from what I can feel, it's such a good sled.
Do you think you would have enjoyed racing a Gen 4?
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah. Like the guys now, I'm not a big fan of like the length that they run. Like they're running a 136 for the race sleds. I kind of liked it kind of short. for the corners, but seems like those guys, they can just pound through anything. Like with those sleds, the suspension is so good in them now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is
Like
crazy
a lot of
to
guys,
see
like
the
when
race
we
sleds
race,
get
we could
longer.
tell we would time stuff better. I think like when me and Tucker first raced, like we could get in all those holes nicely. Where if the longer sleds, they can just skim that stuff now and go across the tops of them, and it's probably way quicker too. But it's way harder on chains and belts. But
yeah,
but it's I think it's harder for them to like get in and downside some of those big steep holes with the longer sled.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Looks like their one ski's really towed in there. Is that bent or is it?
Yeah, it does look kind of tricky. I noticed that too, but I think it's because it's tipped up
The
a
angle.
bit too.
Yeah.
You can't really look at alignment.
And it would get, and especially if it was an action shot, it would get lots of motion in it too, right?
Yeah, because I was pretty picky with my alignment on my sleds. They were like absolutely perfect all the time, so I doubt if it was tweaked because I would notice. But yeah, it's hard. Like sometimes people look at your sleds and they're like, "What?" You look at one, it looks crooked, but if you look at it this way, it looks straight. You know, it's hard. You got to put the tools in and make sure it's straight.
There's a good battle right there.
That is. If anyone in the chat has questions, just fire away, man. We'll read them out to you, and we'll try and get Rich not to answer them. We'll let Blair answer a few.
Sounds like Rich read the book, man. Holy.
Well, no, I've followed him since way back, man. So my eldest son's a huge fan too. So
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Darren Longway says the first Blair Morgan sled VIN number 1.
That's
nice.
what's at Houdon's, I think he's saying.
Oh,
the sled salvage place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dare Dog says he remembers those days when they had to truck in the snow to the races.
Yeah.
Dare Dog says just mute Rich. I have that power too, you know. Oh, sorry. Did we talk about this picture here?
Not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sure where that is.
Must have been 02, 01?
Yeah, that's a prototype. That's an 02.
Yeah.
That's the first year because I'm still wearing the Ski-Doo branded clothing. That was that first year.
Nice.
I don't know where. Like, is that X Games? Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah. Wait. Sometimes in Minneapolis we would run at night. One of the. Yeah, could be Canterbury.
What do you think of those Firecats? Did you ride one? Did you ever ride one or try to race one? Or
I rode like a prototype one. I think it was pretty early, like prototype. It was pretty rough. It was like the skinny one. Is that what I think that was the Firecat?
Yeah,
skinny,
that's a Firecat.
So my last year at Arctic Cat, we actually at Yellowstone when we were filming the sled decks Y2K, we kind of snuck off and rode around on it a little bit. So it was pretty early. Like it was like it looked like a Frankenstein sled. That's how production it was, or pre-production. So or prototype, I should say. So, but it was quite different. Yeah, I know. I knew. You know, it had like the skinny track too, right? I think with 13-inch or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was longer, and it's tough to ride stuff at elevation too. It's tough to compare. So with even Yellowstone, it's not crazy high, but it's enough to make the sleds work differently.
Did
Blair,
you and Tucker?
Sorry, Gary. Oh, Blair. Time with Cal says, did Blair ever race Searchmont on the ski hill just outside of Sault Ste. Marie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first year, actually, before we headed to Duluth, we went there. And it's actually funny because I never rode a mod sled before, and didn't even get to like take it like around in the parking lot or anything, straight onto the racetrack. Like, yeah, it was kind of crazy because I never rode a mod sled, so it was pretty different. It wasn't as fast as the new ones now, but that was cool. And that's I had a big run-in with Chris Vincent there too, off the track. He put me in a headlock and stuff because he said I took him out or something like that. But it was quite an eventful weekend. Yeah,
He was a poor sport, that guy. I'm sorry. He was always whining. But anyways, sorry.
Yeah, he was quite different, dude. Yeah, it's kind of funny. We're huge rivals and stuff, and then one of the New York races, I think 08, like my last year, he was there, and I had a big talk with him for like a half hour. Just me and him chatted. Totally, everything's cool. Like, I'd go and hang out with him today. It was, it was obviously we were like, he was the best at Yamaha. Like I was the top guy at Ski-Doo, so obviously we didn't get along on the track, but off the track, I think we could be really good friends.
Yeah,
nice.
Right
good.
On.
Yeah.
Where was he from, Blair? He was from the U.S., right?
Yeah, he's from Vermont, I think Burlington.
Okay, yeah,
around there somewhere. Yeah.
Shag Boy says, "What did Blair think of the different track styles, snowcross versus high speed?"
I actually liked the bigger tracks, like the Lake Geneva and some of the longer tracks. The short, small ones weren't the big fan of. You know, the indoor ones were kind of cool, but I used to like kind of being able to stretch it out, go fast. Yeah, like more outdoor type stuff, a higher speed.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think what did Shag? Oh yeah, right. He was asking about Skydome. Was that the one?
Yeah, actually, some of the bigger stadiums are good. Skydome actually had a pretty decent sized track in it that one year.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was actually pretty fun that weekend. Yeah.
That's cool. What are we looking at here in the picture here, Blair?
That's my sled I'm riding this year. It's the 2021 MXC.
Nice.
And it's got a SCS wrap on it. I didn't realize those weeds are kind of hiding the little 7C on the side. So,
that's neat.
That's a wicked color.
Yeah, it's kind of like a blue, purple, they call it, I guess. So,
yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, it turned out really well.
Is that a 129?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. With is that the 50 or 600R, or what are you running there?
That's the 600, actually, yeah. I'm kind of not... I like the 850, obviously, but like we're only at 1,000 feet here, and 850 is insanely fast, and like my arms are sore enough hanging onto this thing.
Oh, true. Oh, there's the 600R is no slouch, man. Like,
no,
jeez,
it's not. It's fast. I kind of like the power in it too. I like kind of that higher rev, kind of. The torquey 850 is. It's just I guess it's too much. Like. My arms. I rode around on a few, and it's just obviously you could like just be easy on the throttle, but not me. I gotta pin it everywhere, so things are scary fast.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Zachary Mitchell says, Blair, you could get ideas from my trikes if you're going to make one at some point yourself. If you ever local, you can hop on mine and try and see what you think. Being on here is unreal. I use snowboard bindings for foot holsters. Wondering if you use anything.
You know what? On the Snowmobile, I don't even modify it at all. I don't hit any jumps and stuff like that, but I might do like on my snow bike. I kind of have like kind of almost like a seatbelt just to kind of hold me on the seat better, which I think I might do that because sometimes you'll be going down trail, all of a sudden there's like some big bumps, and I'll kind of bounce around a little bit, so that'll hold me from like kind of bouncing off, I guess. Yeah. So I haven't crashed that many times. Usually if I'm doing donuts on ice, I'll get flipped off, but I kind of like the idea that if you do crash, you kind of like get away from the machine. So
you
don't want to be like stuck on it when the thing's rolling and stuff. So that's kind of I don't have anything, and kind of I do want to have something, but yeah, you don't want to be cartwheeling with the sled and be stuck on it.
I think that's why Ski-Doo opened up their tow holes, right? It was kind of a good idea. A lot of people said they didn't like it when you can add that extra piece off to the side, Jean-Luc, if you want. But I like the tow hole open on the Ski-Doos.
I like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what Blair's saying, if you need to bail off, that's where your foot's going to get stuck in, eh?
Yeah. It happens a lot, especially in snowcross.
Oh, it happened to me the other day, man. I'll let you guys know last week. No, I'm telling you, and I was not going fast. And bring it up. Thank God I had my tech vest on.
And
like I was not going. Oh, I got dragged. I felt like I was in a
see me and see that I'm a
Western. My foot thing, and I felt like a fool, but it was like, what the heck? And I wasn't going fast. So, and after that, I was thinking, wow, what a difference. And now I know why probably Skidoo went to that open side where your foot doesn't get caught in like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, just a thought.
Yeah, and they have such good grip on the running boards now, whereas before I think they didn't have that grip, so your foot would kind of like slide forward all the time. So rather than your foot sliding right off, where now it's so much grip, it's not moving anywhere you put it.
Right on. And I remembered this video. I had to go back to it last night, and I remember seeing this when it first came out. So this is being a series on the X Games, and it was your feature on here. But I just want to play this little bit here, and I want you to talk a bit about this little contraption you're in here. I think it's really cool what you're doing here. But let's just play this out for a sec.
get older, you appreciate.
We got audio there, boys.
The only way to get consulting clients in today's market is a cold email.
Gotta love YouTube.
Things more, try to cherish it a bit. With the snow bike, it was a different thing because I always wanted to get back on a motorcycle after my accident. I'm actually really excited.
Can you hire me to be your guy to tip you up like that? And stuff?
You know, like I have a purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
When I think of Blair Morgan, really the word that comes to mind is revolutionary. He wasn't just a great racer. I mean, he changed snowmobile racing.
Isn't that awesome?
He's the guy that just appeared.
So what? Tell me about that bike you're riding there.
Wreckage behind.
So I can't hear any audio, so we'll just pause.
Anyone in the past or in the future can.
There we go.
Damn, that was a good video.
Yeah, they did a good job on that one.
Oh, it's a really good video.
Can you put a link in there? I think I did see it on there. This was the one on YouTube, right?
Yep, it's Being. It's by I can't remember who did it.
It's the X Games.
Yeah.
When I first returned back to X Games to ride the snow bike.
Right on.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk to us about that build snow bike. How did it come to the idea? How do you get to it? What's it like to ride? Come on, spill your beans, buddy. I want to know everything on it.
Okay, well, I guess we were at Heydays. This was probably 4 years ago, I guess. That's kind of been going to the snowcross races, working for Skidoo, and Joe Duncan, who used to run the WSA, all the race series before ISOC now. He said that they're bringing snow bikes to the X Games because they didn't have snowcross there anymore. So he was saying if we did an adaptive class, would you be interested? He already had Paul Thacker. He was sitting beside me, and he said, "Yeah, I'll do that." And then, if we have a few more guys, maybe we can make this happen. And then, obviously, it did happen. So, Doug Henry has been riding dirt bikes since he got hurt for years, and he has a cage on the bike, just kind of a protective cage in case we do, because we're tied in on the dirt bike for sure. And so if you do flip or tip over or whatever, you're kind of protected. So that's what the cage is on there for. And so I had to have that all built custom. So actually the Andre Lauren, which is the OTSFF, your Rockstar Yamaha motocross team, said that he'd build a bike for me. I've raced with Yamaha my last couple of years before I got injured, and so a Yamaha still. I was kind of a bit of a Yamaha guy for the dirt bikes, so they built the bike for me. They're in Ontario. They drove it down, and then the last 3 years we've been doing this race at X Games. So my results have been pretty poor. I ended up crashing last year. Well, I think I could have got third at least on the podium. So, and this year, obviously, X Games is all motorsports stuff has been canceled at X Games. I think there is still snowboarding or something like that there, but so we're not going this year. So I haven't ridden the snow bike yet this year. I actually sent the kit back to the owner of the OTSF Yamaha team. So I kind of been on the fence with this whole snow bike versus snowmobile thing. I enjoy riding snowmobile a little bit better. I don't know if you guys have ridden snow bikes. They're really intense. You got to be on top of your game to ride them. You gotta There's no like coasting around or just like riding
You're
for
always
like
on, you're on or you're almost
yeah.
off. You're
It's
almost
full commitment.
off.
It's a full commitment thing, yeah. So these sleds you can kind of cruise around, and it's easier for me because I can actually go out to my shop. I can get on my sled. I can go riding by myself. I don't need any help. Where you see in the video, I need like a couple guys to like get me in the bike, tip it up, and then if I do want to stop, they have to be there to catch me and hold me. So it's a bit of a just easier to be on a sled too. So plus
Mr. Snowrocks. Mr. Snowrocks wants to know, does that bike shift that you're on?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's we have an electronic shifter on the handlebars, like up down buttons. So it's like a solenoid that's just right onto the shifter that shifts gears. So it has one of those recluse clutches in it. So it's kind of almost like an automatic transmission thing. So that's definitely helps. Other than that, just a hand brake. So there's no rear brake in the snow bike. It's just a easier front brake. You can use a foot brake if you want, but I just used obviously hand brakes. But other than that, what other modifications? I got the heated bars, which is I really like. It actually runs coolant through the handlebars, which
nice,
cool.
Yeah,
That's wild.
a lot of those motocross bikes, they don't have like the stator capacity to run like heated grips and headlights and stuff like that. So
yeah, right.
Actually, the heat in it is actually a little bit better too when it's coolant too. So it's really you can have it like burning hot, or else you can like turn it down. So
yeah, it's like
really
nice.
Nice.
Coffee.
Yeah, it's just hydro, so it's like it conducts really well.
Right on.
Yeah, nice, nice.
Smart.
Andy says, Andy 78 KERR says it takes a ton of body English to ride a snow bike. Yeah, and Zachary Mitchell's building a bike like yours. He said first one, so it's new. He's got a mini compressor and 2 actuators with a tiny rubber wheel. So when you press a button, it comes down and you get up off your side. It's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he seems like he's pretty smart.
That's freaking genius.
Yeah,
I've seen that on road guys who ride road bikes, like street bikes, because they come to like a stoplight, and then like 2 kickstands so they can stop, and then once they start moving, it flicks back up. So
nice.
That's pretty cool. And then there's a guy that actually, I think he races road bikes, and I think he wins his class, and he has the same thing. Yeah, he comes in, and these little wheels, kickstands come down when he stops, and then he goes again. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wicked.
Yeah, but I do enjoy. I rode my bike in the summertime quite a bit, and it's still pretty fun on a dirt bike for sure.
Yeah, right on. The Eric Scavlin says, "Why did X Games get rid of snowcross?" Do you know why, Blair?
Sorta. And they kind of was a Tucker Hibbert show the whole time, and I think they kind of wanted like more competition rather than have Tucker just like win by 30 seconds every year. So that was part of it, I think, and they just try new things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Snow bike was there was a big hype for snow bikes a few years back, but I have heard that maybe snowcross will be returning to X Games 2022. So
that'll be good.
I'd like to see that. So we got obviously the snowcross is pretty exciting these days with all new kids in there, new faces. So
yeah.
Oh, dude. And listen, I just want to say again, thank you to Powersports for setting this up. Blair Morgan, you are an awesome guest on this show. And again, check out energypowersports.ca and check out their Instagram channel too, because you'll see what Rich is talking about. It's a dynamite showroom, and it smells great in here. It does.
That new smell, that new car smell, it looks like, huh?
Exactly.
Look at all the product. Look at seriously, like all kidding aside, like all that looks like helmets, boots, parts. Like that's pretty wild.
Very nicely laid out too.
Yeah, and it's nice to have a dealership that has so much stuff that you can walk in and you don't have to. Oh, I got to wait a week or 2 weeks to get it. Like, look at his helmet inventory there. That's unreal.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I think you might have an oxygen for me there.
Yeah. Instagram.
Hey, John Luke, can you give us a tour of the facility or what? You up for that?
Right. Yeah, I'm in my office right now, so it's a still camera. I'd have to. You know what? I'll connect through my phone, and then we can go around if you want.
Yeah, do
that'd be
that.
great.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'd love to see.
Okay.
I'd love to show everybody around the shop.
Connect. All right.
So,
I'll connect here. I'll see you in a bit.
I'll see. Yeah, and I'll see if anyone else has got some questions here for the chat. We're going to put Blair big here.
I did see a question in here.
Okay.
I've seen someone was asking about Elias, if he was going to win this year.
Oh, do you think Elias is going to dominate?
Yeah.
This year, Mike Ludwig.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he's already starting to. He's won the last 3 finals and come through the pack from the back row on Friday night last weekend. So yeah, he's always been like the fastest guy, but to keep it on keeping it on 2 skis has always been an issue with him. But he's starting to getting smarter in his older age. I think he's 20 or 21, so he's starting to smooth out a bit.
2 more questions here. Does Blair still run iPhone oil? Big Facts wants to know. That's a big fact you're going to dispose here.
So I run obviously an E-Tech 600, so I do use the XPS in that, obviously, because you're supposed to, and
yeah,
obviously. But my brother still rides my 2008 practice sled, my RS 600. And still runs iPhone in that, and it's still running. Like we go riding, we just went riding like on Sunday,
yep.
And riding, and he still rides it, and it still rips. And it's my practice sled that I used to beat on around the track. It's still running.
Sweet. Colby Collins, MX92 says, "Hey Blair, I train with MX schools here in Canada, and everybody had their own take on training and training camps. Have you ever ran any training camps for snowcross or motocross?"
I know who this kid is. It's I haven't. I kind of set people up with like with a trainer that I used to work with, like riding schools. I've done a few. But I like to concentrate on just like 1 or 2 individuals at a time rather than having like a big school where there's like 30. I've done those before, and you really, I don't think, get through to 30 kids that just want to ride and do whatever on a track. So with some of our like pro guys, I've set up on like training programs, and pro guys, you really don't need to put up their riding school, but that's part of my job when I go down to the races now is help the guys out with different line choices and stuff like that when they're on the track. And I actually communicate through a headset like this to the riders when they're on the track too.
Well, that's
so
cool.
It's kind of cool. It's almost like NASCAR where you're like
the technology is awesome
yeah.
now. That's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. You're really involved when you're like talking to the guy that's on the track at the time, and so that's pretty cool. But back to the MX schools, and a friend of mine, Jay, he runs that, and I would say like, especially if you're in the Ontario area and want to get on like a good training program, he would be the guy to go to. He does a lot. Obviously, it's all motocross for him, but it's pretty similar. Where a lot of the gym workout stuff and endurance stuff is pretty much the same. But I've asked him about that. We'll see how motivated he is to do that.
If they actually have heydays this year, will you be there, Blair?
Well, that's what this year. Like I thought, this whole COVID thing should be done by heydays. I'll be able to get down to heydays and hang out with everybody again. That'd be cool. That didn't happen. Then it was like I hope by racing starting in Duluth, end of November should be good. No, it's like, I don't know what it's looking like, but I'm hoping to get to some of the races in March, which would be awesome, but who knows what's going to happen.
So Blair, was there ever like a race sled from another manufacturer that like got your attention, like Yamaha, Cat, anything like that really stuck out?
like when I was racing against them, the Polarises were pretty good.
Yeah.
In like the late 2000s. Seemed like they had their front end figured out really well. That's something that like we kind of struggled with a bit with suspension with the new chassis, XP chassis, and seemed like they had a pretty decent sled for that. But other than that, I always really, I'm kind of the guy that I wasn't trying to be too picky, because you start getting kind of too picky on things and worrying about things too much, it throws your riding off a little bit. So even if something wasn't 100% perfect, you kind of have to deal with it on the track, and just there's nothing you can change, so you might as well just deal with it and keep going. So there's a fine line. I think you got to be kind of knowledgeable on like how you set up your sled, and be like you don't care that it's like this, because you got to go and race it anyway. So I kind of was rocking that fine line. I didn't want to know too much of like the technical details of like what weights or rollers or whatever's in the clutching. Right. As long as it worked well on the track, I could just concentrate on that.
Yeah. And your mechanics were probably all pretty damn good though, eh? Blair, like you probably went back after doing your laps and saying, hey, I need this adjusted, or it's doing this, doing that, and they're probably all be at that level pretty damn good, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of experienced guys on the team that had like drag racing backgrounds, oval racing backgrounds, older guys that have been in the snowmobile industry for years and years, that way more knowledgeable than I am on any kind of clutching. So, but it was really good to work with them, like on like test days where we would try to fine tune stuff and get it pretty perfect, but it's another thing too. I'd like to have my stuff, especially with motocross too, like you learn to like have a setup that you don't want to change too much, because like suspension wise, especially, where it's really predictable what it's going to do when you hit the different bumps and jumps. So I didn't like to change too much a lot on the sleds, but a lot of those mechanics, they can't leave stuff alone. They always think they can get a little bit more, where then you start going backwards sometimes.
Yeah, it's a fine line, right?
It is, yeah. Like it could be like absolutely perfect, and they still want to like tinker with something.
Check out this comment from Tyler McLeod. He said he had a 7C sticker on his first sled, a pink 377 Safari with a huge windshield. And he says he was thinking he was racing Tucker in the backyard.
I had one of those 377 Safaris.
Like, weren't the pink ones like the 92? I had one that I sold for $1,300. I want to say it's a 91 or 92. It had independent suspension on the front.
Yeah.
I had the ones before that. I had like the Safari Scout. I think it was like a...
Yeah, the Scout was the yeah. They were
had
fun.
Had lights that popped up and down.
Yeah.
And they had the spring on the front. But I remember when the new Safaris came out, I thought they were kind of cool, because they had the independent.
They were pink. That was the pink one, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, probably, yeah. They had like a touring one too, with 2-up seats and stuff.
I had my son's Mini Z done up with your racing graphics on it, with the C and stuff and everything on it. He loved it, man. He still has it, and it was actually one of the first ones that went around that was being built, and we had it done up exactly. It's pretty cool. So we still have. Awesome, he still has that sled. What's that?
That's great. I love that.
No, it is. It's well, I sent you the picture of him jumping on our lake.
We showed that picture, I think. So
yeah, and he's got his tech vest on, and he's got his Blair Morgan racing number on, and it was awesome. So
that's cool.
But yeah,
Blair, someone was asking me to do a wrap for their oxygen helmet tribute to Blair Morgan's 7C. Is that okay? Can I have your permission to do that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, right on. I'll send you a picture if I do get to design it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
There you go. That's really cool. You heard it from the man himself. Just sign here.
I'll we waiting for the royalty checks in the mail.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got our tour coming in here.
There we go. Awesome.
There
you go. Turn your phone sideways there, John Luke.
I'm trying to. Sorry, here we go. Sorry, hold on.
Oh, it's on.
Didn't work.
Hold on.
If he unlocks it, well.
Yeah. Front of camera. Here we go. I want to go back a camera. Does that work?
Is it on lock, Jean-Luc? Can you when you swipe down?
No, you're right. That's
Yep, just hit the lock and then you're fine. Yep, it's the lock. I think. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Beautiful.
All right. So yeah.
Very
so this
nice.
This is the front of the store. We put our spiders around here. Yeah, so there's lots of stuff. This right here is one of my 2 demos. So this is what I ride. Well, I have not ridden it yet, but I'm excited about it. I love it. This is I handpicked that unit, and I put a bunch of stuff on it. Let me just show you a couple of things. So this unit has got the space for the cell phone.
Right on.
Washroom.
Yeah, and it's got the whole kit and caboodle. Let's start it up. So we added a couple of cool lights in the front to it. It looks pretty cool. So it's getting some more LED lights, but it's got the cool screen.
It's sold, Jean-Luc. You sold it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. Now,
Yeah.
Jean-Luc, how many square foot is your dealership there? Because that is huge. That, like, I'm serious. Like I was mentioning before, like that's more impressive than any auto dealership.
Freerider on the screen there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no. So the store, the total square footage of the first building is 21,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a lounge here, and then the showroom is just about 13,000 square feet right now. We have a secondary showroom on the other side. Of course, this is all Sea-Doo, but the other side we now have another warehouse right next door. That's another 21,000 square feet. But we had to go to it because we're just we've absolutely exploded in terms of sales, and we became let's just put it this way, we've outgrown the place much quicker than I thought we would ever do it. So yeah, we've got lots of goodies, lots of cool stuff. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. We've got some neat off-road unit. Yeah, this one's pretty cool.
Oh, yes.
It sold today, this one, so it found a home. And recently we got some boats, some really cool aluminum craft
fishing boat. Wow.
Yeah. So we got some cool stuff. And then where Gary is sitting right now is right here. But he's not there.
Where did I
He
go?
went to the bathroom.
Yeah. So this is the other demo. This is a 900 Ace Turbo. It's an X package.
That won't be there long.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to pre-sell that. But this thing as well has got all LED package, the big screen, and the screen for the iPhone there, and yeah, lots of stuff.
Very nice.
That is almost a Blair Morgan looking. You put 7C stickers on the side. It's got the black hood on it and all yellow.
Maybe I should. Yeah.
Hey, I'll help you out with that. I just got off air. I just got the rights to use the 7C on my oxygen wraps.
There you go.
Yeah. And so I'm going to split my losses with Blair himself. So he's just going to send me $25 a month, and we're going to get her done.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so we got it's about 13,000 square feet in the showroom, and I'm just gonna turn on the lights in the back real quick. This is our shop. Of course, Mr. Corey Brock has come here a lot. He's one of the few customers who can come in this area, and so this is our shop. We try to keep it super clean. Yeah, we try to keep it very clean. Not always easy, but yeah, it's and on the other side of the wall. Sorry?
You notice how there's not many skidoos in there getting fixed because they don't break down.
Correct.
So your mechanics just PDI and that's it.
Yeah, well, we try to keep it pretty clean. But during the day it gets a pretty busy place. Corey has seen it when we're jammed, and but yeah, it's pretty cool. Now we'll show you why there's no skidoos on this side.
Right on.
Awesome.
All Sea-Doo.
Yeah.
What a wicked shot.
Yeah, so a lot of the sleds, these sleds all have arrived today for maintenance. So we got our work cut out for us, and so this is for the week stuff we gotta put out real quick, and on this side over there, at this end, is a huge warehouse where we do all of our online shipping. So,
excellent.
So yeah, this
Jean-Luc,
is
was this a factory before, Jean-Luc? Because the building's unreal. Like it's set up perfectly for you.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. So it's a good question. Real quick, in Canada, we have in the Greater Toronto area, there's a place called Hasty Market. It's a convenience store, and this used to be the head office for it. These guys bought this place 25 years ago, and the model at the time, they used to get everything shipped in their warehouse, and then they would ship to their convenience stores. Unfortunately, that model is kind of just dead. You know, you ship directly to the convenience stores, and so they ended up emptying the place. It was basically empty. I came in, we took over the building. I gutted the place. I redesigned it the way I wanted to.
Wow!
And here we are now. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So we're here for a little bit, but at the pace we're growing, I don't know how long we can stay, because I mean we're 42,000 square feet. You got to understand one thing is because we're urban, we're not allowed to have anything left outside, and so it brings a different level of challenges for us. So everything's got to stay inside. It's good for the customers. None of the sleds or bikes or Sea-Doos stay outside ever.
Right.
Everything stays inside for us. So we got
a challenge for you. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It's been a great ride so far. As I said a couple of weeks ago. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I've met some awesome people throughout this whole experience. BRP has been terrific. They're a great brand. And by the way, while I'm at it, I want to say, I don't know if he's on the call tonight, but I want to say a big thanks to Ben DuPont, from BRP, who reached out to Blair and said, hey, would you do us a favor and hop onto this podcast? So it's exciting to have you, Blair, and I sincerely appreciate you taking that opportunity.
Cool. Yeah, Ben's a good dude.
He's a cool guy. Yeah, he's a true yellow blood guy for sure.
Yeah. He's kind of a funny guy too. So
yeah.
Jumpman Jay says shout out to Ben, and Rob Reinhardt, Jean-Luc says it's a house of speed, and he put a little emoji of the sunglasses on the smiling face.
Very, very cool.
That's
so
awesome.
tell you what, me with that sled.
Sorry.
Stop teasing me with that sled.
No. This one, the yellow one, is what you and I are going to go riding with Corey Brock with.
Yes,
we'll get to try.
Yeah,
now, Jean-Luc, you have to make BRP keep that color in the background on that poster, because that's the color sled I would get. I love that color.
No, you know what? It's funny you said that. That was my demo last year. That's why I picked that picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't change it this year in time. I tell you what, if you want that, I'll ship that to you. If you want that canvas, I'll ship it to you.
Oh man, that would be awesome. That's a wicked color. That's a wicked. Hey, listen, I told you guys I'm not brand loyal, so
no.
like Bobby, the same thing, right, buddy? You ride what you want to ride 1 year, and
that's it.
That is a nice color. I have an Iron Dog that has that color on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, it was funny that the local dealer in Whitby had that exact sled, and I was wanting to get it for my eldest son, but unfortunately, circumstances, he's getting his first house and doing whatever, starting his life off, and because he's a total diehard do guy. Like he's like, Dad, I'm not riding anything else but a do. Like I said, he still has his '98 Mini Z, and he's 24 now, and he's like, yeah. So, but that's a wicked. I love that color.
Yeah, it's cool. It's striking. I really liked it when I first saw it. The one thing I'd like to see is they come stock with the LED lights. So we basically have to change the bulbs.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that happen. I always like to put a lot of LED lights because I love night riding.
For sure.
Riding at night is awesome, and you want to be visible for sure. So.
And it's going to happen. You know it will. I mean, it's just something that'll happen down the road for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, boys, if you don't mind,
I don't think they should change out the lights. Motojungle.ca/eagle has landed.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, Gary, you know what? I'm going to get off the call right now. I got a bit of work to do for tomorrow ahead of the second day for the boat show. I appreciate you guys tonight. Thanks again,
No
Blair.
problem.
Thanks a lot, John.
Thanks for having me.
yeah, if you want to give up, maybe, I don't know, another 5 T-shirts or so, go ahead, Gary.
5.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jean-Luc.
You be well, guys.
Before you go, I got a question before the chat here, and we'll get her done. What brand of boat? First one to answer. Are they selling at Energy Powersports?
There you go. There's a couple of brands, but yeah, that's good. Good.
So I got to share in the meantime. Back in the day, Blair, I was at the Vernon Snowcross races in New York, and I had this toy Rev, and I had you sign it. So you're right over there. Yeah. I was so stoked to finally meet you, and I remember I had an Arctic Cat jacket on, and I was like, "Oh, I hope he'll sign this. He's not gonna like me because I have an Arctic Cat jacket."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
And Earl Reimer autograph on there too. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. That was so awesome. Little collector's item.
Yeah, definitely. I still have.
Awesome, Bobby.
I don't have one of those, but I have actually sitting right here. The Arctic Cat one.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
That's awesome.
Morgan edition toy. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Arctic Cat hooks up on all the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if people noticed up here. There's a
boss.
Like a race pullover, but it's a pencil holder.
Oh wow!
No way.
It's like a ceramic or something. Yeah.
I remember you wearing that jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Couple of little things I guess I do have.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Titanium spring off a race sled.
That's something.
It's kind of cool because people grab it and they think something like that'd be heavy, but it's like low feather.
I bet.
Yeah. Your Rockstar snowcross helmet in the background. It's pretty cool too. Or is that your motocross?
Yeah, that was the snow bike for X Games.
Right
helmet. The team I rode for, they're sponsored by Rockstar and it's a big sponsor there. So I'm not sponsored myself as Rockstar, but their team is. So
yeah, right on.
A lot of comments on your Jaws sweatshirt.
Oh yeah,
yeah. A lot of comments on that.
Whenever you get a new sweater or a new hoodie, they're so comfy, right? So you run it. Yeah. Jaws ended up sending me a sweet custom can for the 600 I have, and it's pretty sweet. They welded on like a 7C logo on the side of it. It's pretty good. So I have it on my Instagram if you guys want to check it out.
We'll check that out. What's with the chainsaw little graphic you got sitting there?
Yeah, that's SCS graphics. So, like they send usually if you get they have a bunch of stickers they kind of stick in between the graphic pieces and stuff. They'll just send stickers in there with it. So there's quite a few cool stuff. These guys are out of Bozeman, Montana, and they're super cool guys. And we do like that 7C edition wrap, but even like I did this year, we did like custom colors. You can do whatever you want. You can have like the 7C type wrap, but then you can add your own colors, add your own logos if you want. So everything's customizable these days. But super sweet wrap. Turned out really well this year.
That's awesome.
The guy Snow Racer 2 is asking, Blair, can we see your painted helmet collection? All those old helmets were such works of art. You probably got them somewhere that's not close by though.
Yeah, right? They're downstairs.
Yeah.
If check out my Instagram.
There you go.
Believe I have that on there. I put that was maybe a year or two ago. I put them all on there. There's those, and I'm kind of obviously I'm bored out of my mind these days, so I've been cleaning my shop really nice, and then I'm gonna make like a shelf or something, and then I'm gonna put them all up on the edge there, and maybe put some I don't know. I got a bunch of trophies just kind of laying all over the place, so maybe put a few of those in there too, and make my shop look pretty cool. I think that's the thing these days. Everyone wants to have sick looking shops. So
the man cave. The real deal. Legends never fade. They just get stronger. Zachary Mitchell says, and Kevin Bennett says Blair is the GOAT. # the GOAT. Greatest of all time.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just shared your Instagram.
Oh yeah, sweet. Yeah.
In the chat there, so.
Perfect. I'm stuck on like 11.6 for some reason, and I think my fans are kind of maybe older. I think they're like Facebook people. I like older.
Isn't that the thing?
And then middle age is Instagram, and then the kids nothing to do with Instagram or Facebook. It's all Snapchat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all generational.
Yeah, and now they're moving to TikTok and everything. Because I was saying that my boys are like, Dad, no one uses Facebook, man. Like, you got to get off that.
I'd be over 40, I think. I gotta be over 40, I think, to have Facebook.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Jumpman Jay got the Illumicraft. I'm not going for spelling on that one. He was the first one to get it right, even though Anonymous says he was. But okay, so we got 4 more shirts to give away. Bobby can ask a question, then Rich can ask a couple questions because Rich has got a bunch lined up, I think, right? But Bobby, have you got a question for trivia?
Let Rich go first, and I'll think.
Okay.
List the year that Blair raced for Arctic Cat. It was a few years from. Should I give them the beginning of the year, Blair, or no? Let them give us the total years. Okay, so give us the total years that Blair raced for Arctic Cat, and we'll go from there. Yep. Right there.
Mr.
Snow Rocks, 97 to 2000. Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
Congrats, man. And email me at MUDBRATS, or sorry, photo MUDBRATS.com.
What's that? 2001? Yeah, because you started with Skidoo, right?
So Shadowberry Dominator 286 got it.
Like, you go through the new year, so.
Yes. So Dominator got it, yes. 97 to 2001, yeah.
Yeah, 2001. We raced 2001, and then 2002 model year, I switched to Skidoo, which was still 2001 pace.
Yeah, so. Yeah. That's technically it, right? That's the tough thing, right?
Yeah.
How about we do the how long did you race with Skidoo for, right? Because you have to know that too as well. I mean, we all know that too, but I mean, we just gave the start year.
Yeah.
So.
You asked how many years, and Bruce Stewart said 3 years on the last one. He's mad. Sorry, Bruce. We love you.
So he was on Cat from 97 to 2001 technically, and then from Skidoo till when?
Bruce Stewart says 7 years. Is it 7 years, Rich? Bruce Stewart said 7 years.
I'll do the math.
2001 to 2008.
Yeah.
What was that?
97 to 2001. Yeah. And then us for Skidoo, it was 2000 till 2008, right? 2001.
Yeah.
Technically, but technically 2002. It's one of those hard.
Yeah. Model year.
It's the model year, right?
One now. We're going to give Bruce Stewart that one. Okay.
Right.
Did you leaving Arctic Cat have anything to do with Tucker coming up, or was it just a separate? You just happened to move to Skidoo as he came up.
It could be a little of everything, I think. I got to see the Rev actually before I even went to Skidoo. They brought me up to Valcourt to take a look at it, and it's a lot of everything. The management at Arctic Cat at the time wasn't very good, and they wanted me to run like all the Arctic Cat sponsors. So with being at Skidoo, we got to make our own team. So it was like my own team. So all the sponsors were ours also. So that was probably the biggest thing, is being able to pick and choose all the sponsors and products you run.
Yeah. The Blair Morgan racing team was cool. That was cool that you were able to do that.
Yeah. So when I was at Arctic, they wanted me tied in with like a Rye helmets, a Scott goggle. Like you had to run
Black
that
Magic.
Stuff. Yeah.
Plus, you saw the Rev, and who could turn that down?
Yeah, that's the thing too. I guess that's a bit of a story I could tell now. Is they flew me from X Games in Mount Snow when it was out in Mount Snow out east, and they flew me in their private jet up to Valcourt after the race, and then flew me home on a private jet.
Wow, that's
wild.
wicked. Yeah,
that's a pretty cool story. It was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, you were probably on a C7 or something like that, the Bombardier jets.
Yeah, I think it was their corporate one, and I could see why people like those. Pretty much go anywhere in the world very quickly.
Yeah, you fly above the jet stream in those bad boys. You're like 25,000 feet above commercial airlines, man. They're wild.
Yeah. You get home in a hurry, even when you live on the other side of the continent.
That's wild. Plus, you think about it. We've talked about it on the show here. The engineer, and maybe you probably might have had a little bit of help in this if you think about it, Blair, because of the stand-up style. Like, you think about it. The old design of snowmobiles was actually kind of silly because your back was taking a beating, like the way, and just moving it forward was like just kind of like common sense, but like it literally brought the snowmobile industry it's unreal. It's like going from black and white to a color TV, like it's pretty wild.
And more upright too, like a dirt bike.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they scrapped everything. For all the old designs and that, they probably all threw in the garbage and started right over again.
Yeah. The
design. Said, did Blair know about the Rev chassis before moving to Do?
Well, he just kind
was
of
that one of the dangling transparent carrots? Yeah, you did. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah,
for sure. So that was two.
Yeah,
that was two shirts.
Before.
Yeah. What was the last year Blair won gold at X Games?
That's a good.
Oh, that's a good one, Bobby.
Thank you.
Bruce Stewart's already emailed me. Bruce Stewart's already emailed me his address for the shirt. Awesome. But I didn't see. I said, where the super chat button is, Bruce Stewart. But I haven't. I haven't make any sound effects.
I'll be right back, guys. Hang
on. Robert Reinhardt, 2006, right, Blair?
Yeah.
Last year you won it? Yeah. So Robert
that's
Reinhardt.
that photo that we were looking at earlier.
Yeah. What a cool last way to win it, too.
Just hang on. Bruce Stewart did it. There we go. $10.
Appreciate it, man.
Super chat. Yeah, thank you, buddy. That's awesome. Well, that's going to go to Sled Parts. It's going to go to the 7C stickers on my helmet. That's for sure. What does Blair think of the Rev Gen 4? I just bought an MXZX 850 and hasn't ridden it yet. Coming from a Sidewinder. Have you ever ridden a Sidewinder, Blair?
That's the Yamaha Articat one, isn't it?
Yeah, 4-stroke turbo.
That is, yeah. No, I haven't ridden anything but a Skidoo since 2002, basically. I never ridden a Polaris. So, yeah, I did ride a Yamaha like in the 90s, but that's about it. So, yeah, you'll love the Gen 4. I think it's amazing. And I'm not even really pushing it at all. Just riding it in the trails and in the fields and stuff. I think it's awesome.
Nice.
And from what you can tell on the racetrack, it's obviously working well.
Yeah. So who won that one, Bobby?
I saw Robert Reinhardt first. That was the first that popped up on my chat screen. So,
well, you're the judge, so he wins it.
There it is.
And what do we got? So that was 4. Nobody's going to argue with you, Bobby. You're the boss here, man. Like,
apparently I matter.
Yeah, so we did 4. We got one more prize. I'll turn it back to Rich. He can ask a question.
Oh.
Or does Blair have a question? Maybe.
Yeah, let Blair do, because I actually, be honest with you, I think I'm all out. To be honest with you guys, I don't know what questions I asked. Blair, you got a good question? Or did we cover them all?
What team does Elias Ishul ride for?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Skidoo is the only way. Skidoo. Drew Bellafuel.
There you go.
Boss Racing. Drew Bellafuel got it, right?
Yep, he was first.
Well, no.
Well, I don't know.
I want the team.
Yeah, like then
what's you want the team? Is it Boss Racing?
Yeah, I want the team.
Zach
Oh, the team.
Idle.
Okay, the team. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So,
Zach Idle kicked ass on that.
Yeah, see, Gary, you and I were fixated on the actual the sledding.
Well, everyone knows he's on Ski-Doo, but what team do you guys? Because there's 3 big Ski-Doo teams.
Yeah, it is wild seeing that now, different, right? So,
Zach Idle was already jumping the gun on that. He was asking me what the email address was for getting his shirt. So, Yeah, that's good. Well, again, we got to thank Energy Powersports, not only for getting the Blair Morgan, the greatest of all time, in here, but also for the generous prizes, man. That's awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, John Luke, and the tour of the dealership. I'm glad we all got to see that. And hopefully we get
all the shirts when we were at the Toronto show last year. Like people could buy shirts from him, and then they would bring them over and sign to me. But he had, I don't know, hundreds of shirts sitting there for people to buy and get signed. So that was kind of cool.
Very cool. Yeah,
love that. He's such a great guy. That is
awesome.
So genuine, man. I chat with him I chat with him a lot, and he's just so. It's like I've known him for years. You know.
Yeah. We've been pretty lucky, you guys. We've had some pretty awesome guests. But you know what, Blair? This has been awesome. Like, honestly, and I know it sounds kind of out there, but like, man, I've been a fan since you started in snowcross and even, you know, from motocross. So it's just been an honor having you on. So I appreciate it. That's great.
Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely. And
good way to kill a Monday night.
Yeah. And you decorated the place, like you got all lit for us, and man,
table with some bit of junk kind of stuff on it, and then I thought I usually have this helmet sitting beside my monitor here, but I just put it on the table back there. So, but other than that, I try.
Awesome.
Well, these days, I don't think anyone's house is that dirty because no one's got much to do. So, cleaning my shop is the cleanest it's ever been, and so.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you do much wrenching yourself, or like do you enjoy doing that kind of stuff?
Not really. That's why I kind of ride a Ski-Doo. I just put gas and oil in it and go. I'm not much for
that answer.
Yeah. That's why like people come to my place, but you know, they're looking for tools and stuff, and I don't really have much for tools either because I don't like working on stuff.
Yeah. Listen, I've asked some of the other big shooter guests that we've had on here, if you could describe your perfect snowmobile session, what would it be?
Depends, I guess. Like I'm kind of like people love the mountains, and like I've ridden in the mountains. It's really cool. I'm not a big fan of like early mountain riding where you're getting stuck everywhere like that. I don't like that, and that's too much powder. You're just holding it wide open. You're not going anywhere. But I love just pounding out laps on a track, like a super sweet like snowcross track, something like Canterbury or something, where it's like a supercross basically on snow. That's like kind of my dream session for sure. That's well, back in the day, obviously, I'm not going to be hitting a snowcross track anytime soon these days. But other than that, these days, I just like cruising around, finding some deep snow and just kind of floating through everything. So, but yeah, I'm a bit different now. Guys always dream about going to the mountains and stuff, but I liked just pounding out laps on a sweet track, and you know, especially at nighttime or something where it's all lit, you know, with big lights everywhere and in front of the crowd. Obviously, I guess that was part of the deal. And winning races, you know, there's no other better riding experience than that, I guess. Like, especially like, even like X Games. Like X Games was awesome because it was like the biggest deal, I guess, in snowmobiling.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Those jumps were
Tyler McLeod says thanks for the opportunity. Yeah. Well, actually, I got to walk the track down there when they had snowcross in Toronto. It's just crazy.
Okay.
Like thanks for the opportunity to talk to a legend, boys. Best snowmobile session yet. I agree. This has been great, Blair.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Ushered all the modern era of snowcross and will forever be grateful. Long live the Superman.
Yep. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I posted a link to promote the show, and my Facebook blew up with just like everybody sending me pictures, and I'm like, email them. And I must have sent the wrong email, obviously. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't my fault, was
it? Well, that's awesome. You know what? Is there any other questions for these guys? Do you have anything to add there, Bobby and Rich?
Just been honestly like such an honor to meet you. I talked a little bit about it, and it was so crazy to see like my sister was like, "Oh my God, Blair's coming on." My neighbor was like mind blown, and just all my friends, you know, they follow me, but they don't know too many names. But Blair Morgan just stands out above the rest for them. So really cool to talk to you, and thanks for coming on our podcast with us.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, even like being at the races like last few years, you know, there's little kids who weren't even born yet when I was racing, and they are fans, which is cool. Obviously, the parents have dug out the old VHS player and threw some VHS tapes in there, and they probably don't even know what a DVD is, these kids. So it's pretty cool to see that. It's really cool. You know, the parents were big fans when I was growing up, and then now their kids, they were like little kids when I was racing, and now they have kids that are that size. So it's pretty cool to see that next generation.
That's what it's all about, right? So we have another super chat from Super Machine. $5. Thanks a lot, buddy. That's awesome. Really appreciate that, man. That's good. Was that a sticker, or that was just a super chat? That's great. So no, that's good. Like that's and that's the thing. Andy's motocross all the way, man. Follow Andy 78 KERR and check out Wyatt, and they're slinging away, and Wyatt's kicking butt and taking names, and he phoned me Sunday morning when he seen it, and he went, "Oh my God, Blair Morgan, I got to show you this picture," and blah blah blah. It's like, oh yeah. So it's you've inspired everybody on both sides of the fence, snowmobile and motocross, and probably bridged the gap on the two sports, you know.
Yeah, well, was part of the thing, I guess. You know, that whole, I guess, stand-up riding style, which everybody thought was weird at the time, I thought was normal, and then I guess I was right. It's normal now. You don't see anyone else sitting down or on the track.
Yeah. Actually, here's a good question from Randy Weiler. He said, Blair, who did you look up to when you were racing?
I would say on the snowmobile side, Kirk Hibbert. You know, it was even before I raced snowcross, I obviously seen some snowcross races on some videos, and Kirk kind of was he did it all. Like they did like ice ovals, they did cross country, they did the snowcross. And once I got to meet him and like kind of know him, I was even a bigger fan, because he kind of was that. I think Articat was kind of the people that, you know, with that front independent suspension and the race sleds, and it was partly because of Kirk Hibbert that style of sled did come out. So that's kind of, I think, the beginning of that whole snowcross scene was like when they started doing that. And then everybody else obviously like caught up to, you know, them, and then they were ahead. And then it's always like once you get to the top, I don't think work as hard, and then the other people below are working even harder to get to the top, and they're always moving back and forth between the manufacturers, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, didn't Kirk Hibbert take one of this? It was like a Pantera or something. I don't know if I got the model right, and he won the hill climb one year. Like it was something silly, and it was like, how is he doing that on the, you know, the Jackson Hole hill climb, the big event, and he won one year, and it was like, what? Like
probably.
Yeah, he did quite a bit.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, he did a hill climb. Like he did everything on a snowmobile, and so looking up to him, and obviously with the motocross, there was a lot of guys to look up to when I was growing up. You know, guys like Rick Johnson. Another guy was like Damon Bradshaw was kind of my hero when I was kind of starting to do well, and then I got to meet him. I actually raced against him, so that was really cool to meet your heroes after.
Yeah. Well, cool. You probably had that too, Blair. I imagine like younger guys coming up and they're like, "Oh my God, I idolized Blair, and now I'm racing against him." You must have had that right near the end of your career, or even halfway through, type thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think guys like Levi Lavallee, or Ross Martin, like some of the younger guys that were coming into the sport. Oh, even like I guess Tucker.
Right. Yeah.
It was always like I knew Tucker before he kind of hit the scene. Yeah. Be just this little punk kid. That
he would have been running around your race trailer when you were with Kat, right?
Oh yeah. We were working with Kirk all the time with the Arctic Cat engineers and stuff, and Tucker would be running around. I remember we went to Kirk's house, and I was doing laps with Tucker around like this. I think it was like Mrs. Hibbard's like garden. But we were doing laps, and I guess she got angry with us because we tore it all up, and she had some planted in there like raspberry bushes or something, and we just ruined it all. So yeah, it was pretty cool back then. And then to see Tucker kind of come through the stages, and then to what he's accomplished now. He's been retired for a couple of years, but just the dedication that he had for so long after, even like it was only a couple of years ago he retired, and
that's right.
He won X Games when he was 15. So he had at the top of his game for that many years. It's, I think he's the GOAT, actually, myself.
That's awesome.
He opened the door for all that, right? So, yeah. That's awesome.
We have to do some house cleaning here. Bobby got a suit. $20.
Thank you so much, Brad. Appreciate it.
Yep.
That's awesome. Great show. Really cool hearing from a legend.
Heck yeah.
For sure. That's awesome.
Yep. It's been great.
No,
good. So we won't keep you any longer, though. Like, that's we appreciate 2.5 hours. It's one of our longer episodes, and we appreciate your time. Crazy. If you want to stay on screen there, just I'll just play the end credits. There's 2 more videos that Bobby and I think you guys will want to watch at the end of this, but just stick around and we'll chat as soon as this thing ends. Okay, Blair?
Okay, yep.
Thanks a lot, guys. Everybody that watched and everybody that super chatted to Bobby and me, we really appreciate it. Cal Lou Sled says, great show, guys. See you next week. Thank you, John Luke and Energy Powersports, for setting us up and for the tour and for the prizes. That's awesome. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Rich. And thank you, Blair Morgan, 7C.
Yeah.
Heck
Thanks, man.
It's a journey.